there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like Kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When that's enough, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When that's enough, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah, shoot, shoot. Yeah, shooting, shooting, shooting. Yeah, shooting, shot. Shooting stars, shooting stars, shooting stars, shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tottenham Way, our match day late night show. Spurs 2, Brighton 1, 3 points in the bag for Spurs. We did it, and we are, I don't know, are we in a title race? Are we in a top 4 race? Is it the battle for third? I don't know. But we are definitely in some kind of a race. I'm going to bring in the panel tonight. There's a few more that will be joining us a bit later, but let's bring in the man himself, Adrian, legendary Spurs fan.
Thanks for the invite. Great to see you guys in the panel. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, okay? I'm sure you will. You're all good guys out there. You're all well-intentioned Spurs fans.
There you go. We've got young Charlie, although he's not that young anymore. He's getting older, isn't he? Getting a little bit older. How you doing, Charlie?
All good, thanks. Cheers for having me on, Stel. Yeah, should be a good show. Big up everyone in the chat as always, and yeah, young Charlie is happy to be back.
Young Charlie's back.
Young 20-year-old.
Do you know what? I think everyone other than Adrian and Graham is young to me. Without being rude to Adrian and Graham, I love them both. And we've got.
I'm used to ageism still.
Listen, I've been accused of everything else, so I might as well add ageism to the list. Why not? And of course, one of our own, Mari, the man from Florida.
The legend himself. Another legend.
Another legend.
Thank
Another
you.
hero.
Thank you, my brothers. It'll be an interesting show tonight. I have a lot to get off my chest, but I will wait.
Good.
Yeah, today was a weird one. Look, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I just want to quickly say to everyone in the chat, big up. Thanks for joining us. Smash the like, subscribe. Rob Ayres, new channel member. Thank you for becoming a member, Rob Ayres. Hello to Daniela. Hello to Jason. Jehon071. I don't know what your name is, but you're from Korea. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Sragog BG. We've got Perky. We've got Resham, Sammy, William, Leronica. Hello, everyone. The Alex Scott Experience. Graham himself. I spent most of the day with Graham, so good to see him in the chat again. Mark. We've got Donna Cullen. How you doing? Wagwan. Yes, as always. Stay humble. Good evening. Wayne Holland, Leicester fan. Channel favorite. JJ's in the house. Elias, hello. How are you? Hope you're good. And Mike Zappa, another legend of the family. Before we begin, I just want to give a massive big up. If you don't know, on the Tottenham High Road, opposite the stadium, on the corner, opposite the West Stand, there's a bar that a lot of fans go to called the Brown Eagle. Right at the back, though, what a lot of people don't know is, because they go in there to drink, there's a couple of West Indian people and this old school West Indian lady who makes the absolute greatest goat curry, rice and peas, beef pate. Let me tell you, my cousin and I today, we loved it. Goat curry with the rice. And it's not, listen, it's not a fancy place. It's a bit of a dive. But the food there is banging, man. Honestly, if anyone likes goat curry, or you like a bit of West Indian cuisine, jerk chicken, go to the Brown Eagle, go to the back where no one even knows about, and you will be blown away. And the prices are good as well. So I've got to give a big shout out because she always looks after. She's an absolute. Do you guys know the Brown Eagle at all?
No, but what does goat taste like?
Oh, it's good.
I'll tell you what. For me, I really like lamb. I actually prefer goat to lamb. I prefer goat to lamb when it's done like that. The way she does it, I could eat that all day.
It depends. Like lamb is like, for me, the meat is easy to munch on, to marinate. Goat can be rough, a little bit rough. It depends on who's cooking it. But I mean, because we have roast pork and roast goat that we do in the Haitian culture, which is West Indian Caribbean. And we also put curry and some sauce. And so fried goat tastes really, really good. It's like really good meat. Like I said, so it depends how they prepare the meat. But lamb is a little bit, I like lamb a little bit more because lamb is, for me, it just, I don't know, falls off the bone easily to eat.
Apologies to anyone in the chat if I called it goat curry. Listen, I'm a novice. When it comes to Mediterranean food, I know what I'm talking about. But
it's curry goat. Curry goat. Yeah, we got that curry goat.
Murray even gave you the nice pronunciation as well.
But that's what Jamaicans. My sister married a Jamaican, so they're like curry goat. You know, we got that curry goat. And I'm like, yeah.
So what's cooking on the show tonight, still?
Quickly moving away. Listen, I had to give special praise because I want as many Spurs fans to go and try it because she deserves it. Her food is so good, and she always, do you know what? She always serves with a smile as well. She loves her food and she loves cooking. So big up. All right, yeah. So look, we played Brighton today. There was a lot of predictions. People said Spurs are going to win 3-1, 2-1, 3-0. Some people predicted loss. I said we're going to draw 2-2 because I felt going into this game we're not playing well. I was kind of right because I don't think we played that well, which we'll get into. But we got the win. That's all you want as a Spurs fan. You want the 3 points. The starting lineup tonight, it was interesting because no one predicted this. So we know the back four and the goalie. That's a given. But Pape Sarr started, Bentancur and Maddison. Some people did predict that, but some people thought that Basuma would start. Some people thought that Lo Celso would be fit and maybe he would play. But it was Sarr, Bentancur, Maddison. But the front three, Kulu, Richie and Werner, a lot of people thought Son would start. Not many people thought that Richarlison would stay in the number 9. I had this debate with Will Stewart yesterday saying I would keep Richarlison there because he's been performing and play Son on the left. But we went with Werner on the left, Richie up front, Kulu out wide. And on the bench, it's fair to say this was the strongest bench we've seen in a while. Emerson Royale, Ben Davies, Dragusin, Skip Højbjerg, Bissouma, Johnson and Son. So you look at the bench and you actually think, do you know what? There's players that can come off and actually impact the game now. Adrian, you can go first because you were the first to come on Backstream. When you saw the starting lineup, were you happy with it, or did you think maybe we should have done something?
I was one out. Don't get me wrong. I've been more than one out in the past because Ange has a habit of throwing curveballs in the past, right? Against Arsenal away when Johnson played and all that. So I thought actually Son would start on the right, and I posted much of my group. And my reasoning was based on the fact that it had been suggested by some fans, Son will come on the left and they would move Werner on the right. And I said, why would you disrupt the team when he's been okay there, right? And move him. And if it goes wrong, Angie's going to get pelters. So I said, and Sonny's played on the right. We all remember that wonder goal he scored at Wembley against Chelsea when he left them dead from the halfway line, you know. So, and he played on right when Kane was there as well. So I thought that. The lineup, I thought, I wasn't disappointed with it. I thought, okay, maybe, I would have played Son from the start. And then if you run out of gas, I'd have seen if we could have got 45, 60 minutes out of him and then took him off because he's that good, right? Ange did it the opposite. He brought him on late. Now, he might have still had more on his legs off by the time the game had ended. So I would have played him from the start, but that's neither here nor there, is it? So, yeah, overall, first half was poor, to be polite. Seems we was trying to give the ball away at every opportunity we could. Don't get me wrong, we got in a few threatening positions, but we never turned them into good goal scoring opportunities, Second half, we came out a bit brighter, which we seem to have a habit of doing. And then Brighton went for a period of domination, which started to annoy me in my seat. and then we come back and we get, Sarr gets the first goal, which I think Kulu fed him the ball. And then he runs in the box, and I'm sure he was intending to cross it. It was a flat cross attempt first. It wasn't in that goal. It was to Richie, really. But the ball rebounding back to him, and fair play to him. He finished well. The second goal, Son had the ball on the left. He gives it to Madders, and Son went on his bike. And then Madders gave it to Richie. And for one time, it was a very good, well-weighted pass from Richarlison. I've got to give him that. He has got vision, but most of his game was off today anyway. And that went out to Son, and he puts the cross across. Johnson comes in from the far post and finish it. I thought other times Johnson would have blasted that over the bar. But and we got a late winner for a change, which what Ange ball can get you. We didn't stop. Back in the day, we'd have sat back on 1-1. And the whole tone of this show would be totally different if it had been a draw.
Quick channel member post here from Elias. Thank you. Almost 1 year channel member. He says, breaking news, the GOAT Curry lady has stolen Stell's heart, but Sarr has stolen mine with that goal and really needs to work on the starting 11 options. Charlie, you came second today, so you can go next. When you saw the starting lineup, were you thinking, yeah, that's right? Or do you agree with Adrian? We should have started with Son because he's a better player. But having said that, in hindsight, Son came on and actually created the assist for the winning goal. So what's your thinking on it, Charlie?
I mean, it was quite an interesting topic, I guess, because I said on Connor's show the other day for the preview that I would have started Son. I would have gone for Son left, Richie up top, and Kulu on the right. I mean, I can see why he was on the bench. He's just come back. He's, been playing a lot of games for Korea and stuff. So I could understand it, but at the same time, I was hoping he'd start. I mean, it was. I mean that. If I'm being completely honest, that was shit today, and I'm being as honest as I can. Like I was at the game today, and I just watching that. I was just thinking at the end, like, how on earth did we win that game? It was literally. I don't know if any of you guys remember. It was a carbon copy of the home game against Brighton last year. Same scoreline, 2-1. Same type of performance. I thought we were outplayed, potentially even more in that game. And in that game, they had loads of VAR decisions go against them. But it was it felt like a very similar game today, where we kind of stole it. You know, we were winging it for a lot. And yeah, I mean, their penalty. I mean, it kind of starts. I think it was Bentancur who had another off day today, kind of trying to dribble out of his own box and losing the ball, which results in a foul happening. And then, I mean, yeah, the first half, there's not too much else to say apart from, I'd say, that one-on-one that we messed up with Richarlison and Maddison. I think if that's Son with where Richarlison was, I think that ends up in the back of the net one way or another. But yeah, no, first half, it was very similar to that Brentford game. First half, just completely non-existent. And then I'll give it to them. You know, I know I said it was shit, but I'll give it to them. Second half, they played much better than they did in the first half. Still not great, but they were definitely better. And yeah, I mean, when we got the goal, I think it was during a spell where we were starting to kind of turn the screw a little bit. And the goal itself, I mean, there was a bit of a slice of luck. I mean, I think it was Sarr, he crosses it, and then it kind of comes off the post, and he luckily gets another bite of the cherry, and he makes it 1-1. And then, for whatever reason, we make 3 subs. And I kind of thought that kind of sucked the life out of us in a way. Like, we made those 3 subs, and we just kind of, you know, we just weren't really doing anything. And I thought Brighton looked very dangerous for that kind of period, where they had a couple of chances. Ansu Fati, I think Buonanotte as well had a good chance. So we could have been 2-1 or 3-1 down, you know, very quickly during that period. And then, to be honest, the late goal, I think it was a very good goal, actually, because, I mean, Timo Werner, for a lot of that game, was in the exact same position as Son to just get that cross in from the wide area, and he couldn't do it. But with Son, he gets it in literally the first time he's in that situation, he gets it spot on. And then Johnson, he couldn't miss, to be honest. He did hit it quite high in the roof of the net, so could have messed it up, but he didn't. And yeah, no, it was incredible scenes at the end. But to be totally honest, if I'm going to sum it up, I thought we were winging it for a lot of that game, and I thought we were very lucky. So, but yeah, no, look, like Stel said, all you want is 3 points at the end of the day, I guess. So I guess we'll take it, but you know, I'm not going to get carried away, because yeah, that was pretty rubbish for large periods of that game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll come to Mari next. JP, I've just got you on mute because I can hear police sirens in the background. So, and I know you're outdoors. I actually thought Brighton were the team playing handball, if I'm honest. But Mari, you said you had a lot to get off your chest. Please remember, we did win today, and we do get accused of being negative when we win, right? So, and I know you've got it in you to just let rip. So,
man, yes, we got the 3 points, and I'm happy we got the 3 points. We are currently top 4, and you know, and hopefully we can finish top 4, top 5. People tend to forget, if Liverpool wins the Europa League or City wins the Champions League, 5th will get you Champions League. So finishing 4th or 5th is good. So,
Mari, sorry, I don't think 5th gets you Champions League. Certain things need to happen for that to come into play.
The Premier League, if the Premier League wins the major European tournament, they will jump over Serie A and get 5th.
Okay,
so
cool.
If either Liverpool wins Europa or Man City wins the Champions League, it will be enough to jump Serie A in coefficient points. So 5th will get us Champions League. And Liverpool is the favorite, and City are the favorites to win their European.
What if an Italian team wins the Europa?
Oh, they solidify it. It will be a German team and Serie A team. They solidify it. Yeah.
As it stands, guys, we're lying third for this European. So our British teams have got to kick on. We're lying third.
Yeah, all we need is Liverpool or City to win. It'll be enough coefficient points to get us the
So if
fifth
we
spot.
get top 4, really, that's the only way to 100% guarantee it. We've got to get top 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Pretty much. Okay, so today's game, right? Yeah, we did win. We had the 3 points. The first half, was so discouraging, so angered, and so frustrated. And I bring this back to some myths that our fan base continue to propaganda or continue to promote. The first half, they bossed us. Big up to Gilmore. He was the best midfielder on the field today for Brighton. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Gilmore was bossing for Brighton. You guys were at the game. Stell, JP, would you agree about Gilmore?
I thought Gilmore and Mitoma impressed me.
Mitoma was the one. Mitoma was ripping us.
Mitoma
was much better.
He looks like a proper player. His
I
first
thought,
touches.
if you're talking about midfielders, I thought Facundo Buonanotte was quite good.
Yeah, no, Gilmore was.
Look at the way Chai just rolled it off his tongue. No.
Buonanotte means good morning in Italian, so.
I like it.
So the first half was the midfield. I said this last night. The midfield had to play better. Maddison had to go in deep. If you notice, Maddison had to go in deep to get the ball from the defense. Which the defense, I said, played better today. BDV was a bit shaky. I thought Romero played a better game than BDV today. BDV got the penalty, and then he also helped Brighton have one chance created when he turned over the ball. So it was probably the worst first half that BDV has had probably in our kit. And so it happens. It happens to the best of us and stuff. And when people criticize, they need to be fair, because if it was Romero, they would go in 100% on him. So, so this is where I'm leaning there. I brought up Romero. So that first half was horrible. That front three started with Richarlison, no touch Richarlison. That's what I'm calling him. No touch. Someone posted that every time he had the ball come at his feet, like literally, it would not stick to his feet. Literally, it was all over the place. Richarlison, horrible.
Murray, look at the 1v1 that he had.
He was, yeah, oh yeah. I'm not even talking about the 1v1. That was horrible.
That's the worst part for me.
But last week, because he scored 2 goals, he was doing the same thing. This guy's first touch is horrible. But the thing that he escaped last week is he scored 2 goals. So we couldn't clearly criticize him for it. But if you analyze the game, if you look at the game, you will see that, man, Richarlison is horrible. Keeping possession of the ball, passing, horrible. So I bring up Romero because Romero, I said this last season, and I say it again this season. Romero, there are times Romero starts our offensive attack. When he does those interceptions, when he does those tackles, he is starting a counter attack. In the first half, I can count not 1, not 2, not 3. There were like 3 or 4 times when he would start the counter attack, pass it to Richarlison or Kulu or Werner, and they were wasteful, especially no touch Richarlison. Wasteful. And people who do not see that, right? Because people still want to criticize Romero today. Oh, he almost got a yellow today whatsoever. They're not watching the game, right? I'm not bringing no SofaScore stats or whatsoever. Look at the game, the eyeball test, right? The eyeball test. He does that for Argentina, right? He's an excellent passer. He did this at Atalanta. Look at the scouting reports. Yeah. When he intercepts the ball, when he tackles the ball, immediately he gets that pass going. And today he did that in the first half. He was trying, right? That's why he's one of my candidates for man of the match, because he was trying. And wasteful Richarlison, horrible. horrible. I mean, horrible. No touch with Richarlison. Timo Werner wasted opportunities. Kulu, just horrible. Now, my man goes on to now Sonny. 2 weeks ago, right, there was a big argument. I said, if we get top 4, the reason is because the icing on the cake, the difference maker is Sonny, right? United doesn't have a Sonny. Newcastle doesn't have a Sonny. Villa doesn't have a Sonny. It would be Sonny, will be the icing on the cake. People are like, well, Madison's the most important. I wasn't arguing that. They work together, Madison and Son. Well, let me just tell you this. Without Son, right, Madison's creation really means nothing if Richarlison is going to be wasteful, Timo Werner is going to be wasteful, Johnson's going to be wasteful, and Timo Werner is going to be wasteful. So Sonny and Madison work hand in hand. You can't separate the two. And for Madison to be truly effective on this team, really, he's going to need someone lethal up front, and that is Son. Nice purple patch with Charleston, but I don't trust you every game. I do not trust you every game. And that's why I said Sonny will be the one to be the ice on the cake. If we're going to solidify top 4, Sonny coming back and him and Madison making beautiful music. People criticized with that. And you saw in the second half, right? If we'll talk about the second half, right? Just in a few minutes, beautiful. And, I criticized Johnson. Good job for that beautiful tapping goal to give us the victory. A beautiful pass from Sonny. Beautiful. Because all game I saw wasteful chances from our front 3. And it was absolutely disgusting first half. Second half, much, much better. But until Sonny came in, that's when I felt confident, okay, we could possibly steal this game and win this game.
Mari makes some excellent points, especially when you was talking about Madison. Because for me, when we played them first 10 games, Madison was further forward. I don't like him around our penalty area at all. I don't like him there. If we need him a bit further forward, we might get our front 3 to click, which has never clicked, whatever permutation we've used since we played Burnley away, right? So, so no, good.
I thought Son.
The one thing I forgot on my rant, people actually said they are looking forward for Richarlison, big up Tim Man, to be our starting forward, our starting striker for next season. Are you crazy?
I want to do a section on Richarlison today. I just quickly want to do a super chat. Tidman 007, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, big up, guys. Big up to you as well. I went to the game today, and I have to say this. We need a top striker in the summer. Richie is not the man for us. So poor today. Also, Højbjerg, when he came on, was bad. I don't think you'll find too many of us disagreeing with you, Tim, man, but a lot of people in the fan base will probably disagree about Richie. JP, we were at the game today. I saw you there. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't know what you guys already have kind of like gone through and stuff, but the first half was pants. I have to hold my hands up and say I was impressed with Brighton. They managed to outpress us, but also when they beat our press, there was a play. They had a play. You could almost see that they had a pattern that they were working to. When we broke their press, there was nothing. Almost like, okay, we've got the ball. What do we do now? And I don't know whether that happens on a training ground or what, but it seemed really disjointed to me. Yeah, I don't see Ange being in. He looked frustrated on the sidelines. I could see him screaming and shouting and stuff like that. And I don't know if the players are not doing what he wants, but at what point do we get the players doing what a manager wants? It seems like the players didn't do what Conte wanted. The players didn't do what Mourinho wanted. I'm at a loss at the moment, but I was disappointed with that first half. I was impressed with Brighton, and the fact that we, Brennan Johnson got that like goal at the end. outside of that, he was like pretty pants. I thought he came on, he didn't really affect it that much. Sonny, I was like, do you know what? Give the ball to him as much as we can, and he proved that to be right. I think the only other thing I would like to say is the fact that with Richarlison, Mari, I hear your frustrations, man. I totally hear your frustrations, but I don't know why we're expecting anything else, right? I think I've probably got to a point of going, I know what his capabilities are. You can't really hold the ball up. You can't really play a ball in. Like, I know all of the things that he can't do, and I don't expect anything else from him in the game. We definitely need another number 9, 100% in the summer. That's what we've got to go for. I think we've solidified the back now. We probably need a little bit of sprinkling of someone else in the midfield, but 100%, the main thing in the summer has to be a striker, because I don't think we can carry on like that. Even if I don't see us also playing to his strengths. We know that, okay, maybe he's good in the box and he can tap those balls in from the penalty spot or when they cut back and stuff, but we don't seem to be doing that for some reason, which I don't get. Like, what is our strategy when we get up there? I thought the whole point of this and style was like, you know what, do whatever we can down the wings, cut the ball back, and you have a focal point in the middle you can put the ball in the net. But we don't seem to be doing that.
Because pre-season we had Harry Kane.
But plans change, right? They knew
Kane go on Leverkusen.
They knew we also had they knew we weren't going to have him. But they knew we weren't going to have Kane, right? Perisic, I'll give you. He obviously got injured and stuff. But the whole club, everybody knew we weren't going to have Kane. Ange knew we weren't going to have Kane. So plan B or plan A really should have been, what is our style of football, knowing who we have now? Fair enough, if we play Son in the middle, not a problem. But we've seen with Son in the middle, there's nothing out on the left-hand side. We brought in Timo Werner, nothing still on the left-hand side. We have to play Son there. This guy's in a purple patch. Brilliant. You know what? Purple patch. How long is that purple patch going to last? Is that going to help us towards the end of the season?
Adrian, let me. Before you say your bit, I'll tell you what I saw today. Right, this is what I saw, and this is why I'm mixed with it. I saw a Brighton team that had been coached for a lot longer than Spurs. How long has De Zerbi been at Brighton, guys? Is it his second season?
It's a year and a half.
First full season. He came like October last year.
Right. So he's introduced his philosophy to Brighton longer than what Ange Postecoglou has, right? So for me, you saw a Brighton team that's better drilled than Spurs. Now, I'm looking at the game last week, the game today, and Wolves. I look at this as a pre-season because we've got our players back. They now need to gel again and get into that fitness groove again. I said this on I don't know whose show it was on. I said, for me, we're in pre-season mode where we need to now click again, and I think it's going to take a few more games. If I'm honest, Brighton, they've been set up under De Zerbi for longer than us. This playing up from the back, we've got to keep doing it, right? We can't stop doing it. We can't just change because it does work. What happened today, though, is when you play out from the back, the reason it works is because you do it quickly. You draw in your position, but then you've got to quickly move the ball to get it into the space that you've created by drawing your position and then exploit the space. When you're lethargic with the passing, it goes wrong. When you've got players like if you go look at the penalty, we're playing out from the back, really good triangle work. Quick. And you've got people in the stands saying, no. And then we get out of it and everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah. Then they start clapping because they've realized what they said was wrong. You shouldn't have said don't do it because it worked. But then what happens is, and this is the second mistake we make playing out from the back, we then try and dribble on the edge of the box. Maddison lost the ball, edge of the box. After we played it out, if he just played another pass forward in the midfield, we had a 5-on-3 or a 4-on-3. He then tries to dribble, loses the ball. Then out of nowhere, we're under pressure, penalty. So you got to play it quick. Basuma did the same at Man City. Remember when we were playing out from the back and Basuma tried to dribble it And then Man City got in and scored against us. Remember that when Basuma tried to dribble outside of it? You can't do that. That defeats the point of trying to play it out from the back. So stop dribbling and play the ball quick. Because when we play it quick, we then get in. The next issue we had, Brighton were pressing us. They knew how we played. They knew that we're going to try and play it at some point to a midfielder that drops to the edge of the box. We're going to play it to feet. How many times have we Cairo played to feet to a midfielder and we lost possession? Mari, you said that Maddison had to drop and come and receive the ball. He didn't drop to receive the ball. The reason he dropped is because he was the only midfielder on the pitch that can receive the ball and spin his man. He's the only player that can get the ball and turn. In that number 6 role, the way we play, Basuma can do it. Basuma did it all for the first 10 games of the season, but obviously he's just come back.
Yeah.
Bentancur can do it, but he's not match fit yet. He's not playing right. Pape Sarr can't do it. Lo Celso can't do it. Kulu can't do it in that role. Højbjerg 100% can't do it. Skip can't do it. So Maddison's had to drop deep because he's the only player that can turn on the ball to get us out of their press. And they kept pressing the midfield. So the issue with this is if Maddison's got to drop deep to get the ball and turn, where's your creativity up top now? It's gone because he's had to drop in the 6. That was the third problem we had. And the fourth problem we had, the wide players simply aren't good enough. And I bang on about this time and time again. Our passing to the wide players today was pants. Udogie had many chances to play it forward. He goes in. The misplaced passes. Brennan Johnson came on for 15 minutes, was utter shite. He was rubbish. But I will say this. The balls we were playing to him out wide were just as bad. They were just as crap. So I'm going to give him a bit of slack. So if you've got a team that isn't playing 1-2 touch football out from the back, you're dribbling edge of the box, your number 10 is having to go into the number 6 role because he's the only one that can turn on the ball, and the ball's out wide of pants. This is where it broke down. This is why we weren't ticking. But when we get it right, we're dynamite. I just feel that we need better quality players to join the squad, and Ange needs a year, 18 months to properly cement the system so they know, right, this is how it works every time. And these are the things we can't do. They've got to go through the errors to come out the other side and make it look special. Pep did it in his first season. And everyone said, oh, you see, you can't play that tiki-taka here. This is the Premier League. You can't bring that brand of football here. What happened the next season? Got the record most amount of Premier League points ever won by a Premier League winning team, ever in history. So we just need to be patient with it. But there are certain players that let it down. You can't play in the 6 if you can't turn on the ball. You can't play out wide if you can't receive the ball, good first touch, and take on the man down the wings. And when we do get to that final third, which we did a lot today, and by the way, statistically, we did better than Brighton. I'll bring up the stats now. I'll show you. We actually did better than Brighton. Our XG was higher. Our possession was better. Total shots, we had 10 more than them. Double the amount on target. Double the amount big chances. We created more than Brighton. Be under no illusion. Our stats were better. But in that final third, that killer pass, that moment of quality to just take a touch, beat a man, finish, it was lacking. And that's the problem you have with Brennan Johnson's, Timo. You're going to get this until we get proper work. As soon as Son went out left and came on, everything changed on the flanks. Brighton were worried. Brighton were genuinely worried when Heung-min Son went out wide. They were like, crap, they've got a good player on the pitch now. He's causing us problems. He's taking up good position. He can beat a man. He's putting balls in the box. And if we give him space, this boy can shoot as well. So when you put that all together, that's what happened today. But look, it's a process. We need time. But Ange needs better players in certain key areas because the whole thing comes crashing down if you have 2 or 3 bad components in the system. It all comes crashing down. So, but we won. We did win, right? We won.
Still, 100% agree with you. That playing out the back is right on the cusp, right? You either get it right or you're screwed, right? And we definitely need a better number 6 to be able to help us with that, right? But looking at those stats,
we need Basuma to get back to his top form, JP, because he can do it. That's all it is.
And that's fair. But looking at those stats, would you say that's what you saw with your eyes? Because I don't think I agree with that.
No.
No. I'll tell you what it is, JP. What I saw with my eyes, you're right. I didn't see that with my eyes, but because the thing is, as much as Brighton had, you felt that they played better. I just think the reason we feel that way is because
it looked like Brighton had a bit more control.
No, I'll tell you what it was, JP. For me, when they had possession, their passing was much slicker. It wasn't like, how many times today did you see Vicario?
They
I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't go there. So he just gives it straight to a Brighton player. And you're thinking, Vicario, you never do this. You've given the ball away 4 or 5 times today. Why? And it's because we couldn't beat their press. They pressed us. We couldn't get past it for the reasons I explained. But when Brighton had the ball, I thought they were better in possession than us, and that's why the stats.
They always had an out, right? Brighton always had an out.
Yeah.
Whoever was in possession of the ball, they always had an out. But in terms of Vicario and some of that, sometimes those players, I feel personally, they've got to take a bit of responsibility on the pitch. While I understand that that's the system and that's the formation and that's the way we want to play, if you can see that someone's on Bentancur, someone's on Udogie, then you need to play the ball slightly differently. You need to play it long.
JP, do you know what one issue we've got, and I think it's something that maybe you can only see if you're in the stadium. Mari, you can tell us if you can see it from the TV. My one big criticism I've got with Spurs, and this is something that really needs to be addressed if we're going to go forward with the way we're trying to play. I've got nothing against the way we're trying to play. I don't want him to change it. Stick to it. Drill it into it. But there's one thing they have got to do. I just find at times we're way too static. And you're looking and you're saying, move. Where's the movement of the ball? Like, it drives me mad. I mean, did you guys see that as well?
100% will exactly agree with you. Because from what I saw on the TV, yes, he scored. I'm going to say this. Sarr is young. He's still developing. He is still on the ball, still scary. I still fret sometimes when he had the ball. But I would say a little better than what I've criticized him for today. Bentancur, either it's the rust, he had this one time where he there was 3 people around him and he was able to get the ball out. But we got to give him time. But Basuma is the one is still a head scratcher because I still need to see the Basuma that we saw the first 10 games where he gets the ball, like you said, on the turn and he is progressing. And he needs to not have that fear, not to have that static. We need like our players to go at these guys, right? It's bright. It's not Maldini or Sergio Ramos or Cafu that we're playing against. Go against these guys and stuff. Johnson came in. I don't even want to bring him up. But this team has to, in the next couple games, I think we play Crystal Palace whatsoever. And I said this last night, the midfield has to take command. Because for me, Dougie Gilmour was, for me, the best midfielder on that field. He was bossing for Brighton, in my opinion. It was
I'll tell you what I've got a problem with.
Maury, sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Right, I'm going to bounce because I've got to my favourite Korean place. I've got to give this place a shout because I go in there and speak to them about sun after.
Is it food night tonight?
After every game, right? Like after every game when I get home, I go into this place and I talk to them about Sunny. So I'm going to go and boost them about Sunny. But if anyone knows...
Hey, JP, place, I've already picked up the Brown Eagle for the goat curry. Now you're doing... Was this place called the Korean food?
There you go, man. It's a banging place, I'll tell you. But I will listen to you guys. But big up to everyone. Well done to everyone in the chat. Please hit that like. Please hit that submit. Love everyone on the panel. Speak soon, yeah?
And the last thing I will say this.
Enjoy barbecue. JP.
The movement of the team also plays off what Richarlison does, right? Because how many times that Richarlison got the ball in position, non-effective passing, non-effective touches that truly messed up our counter, our attack, truly messed up the flow of our attack. It was huge today. It was huge today. Last week it was huge, but the reason why Richarlison did not get criticism because he scored the 2 goals. He had a brace. People had to lay off because a brace is like water, turn water into wine, and so we couldn't go in on Richarlison. But this week it was glaring because Richarlison didn't score, and for what you're saying, Stel, I thought that was a huge problem in regards to our guy. Because if your touch is not going to be great, if I'm Timo Werner and I'm making a run, I know I'm not going to get the ball, right? These guys are at least smart enough to like, if Richarlison's getting it and all dreams die with Richarlison, why am I going to make that great run? Like, seriously. I can understand for if I'm Timo Werner, when Sonny is in the game, right? Oh, okay. I need to get ready because I'm at least going to get a chance. I'm going to waste it, but at least I'm going to get a good chance. Sonny is more effective passing the ball out on the wings if he comes in the middle or anywhere on the field. So it's just, I think also Richarlison, his hold-up play is horrible, right? I know I'm digging in on him, but it had a lot to do because, like I said, Romero was trying. He was up there on the attack. Tried, and every time the ball got to the front 3, especially with Charleston, dreams die.
That's like a dark way to put it.
Dreams die. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That's like Murray. That's like the darkest way to say it.
Yeah.
Dreams die.
I want to come to Adrian because he wanted to speak, but very quickly, Bring It Big Boy, channel member for 8 months. Thanks so much. He says Johnson is only good at staying in post or running. Yeah, Adrian, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, there's a couple of points. One's about Angeball, and one I was agreeing with you on the fact that why is it we get to the second half when we decide to move the ball quickly? You know, I mean, I know Romero plays at quarterback for us and to get things going. I mean, sometimes I think he could be quicker on the ball, but you've also got the options. When you look at a team like Man City, when they're playing, all right, I know we're no Man City, but you'll always find that the player on the ball has always got at least 2 options to pass it to, not one, so the other team can predict what you're doing. And they have better movement. Now, this has got to come with time with Angeball. It's not going to work. The other thing I disagree with Angeball is remember a game a while ago when Højbjerg come on a sub and he hoofed it, right? And Ange was screaming on the touchline. Okay, I get that. You want to keep possession, not just hoof a ball. But if our pass is off point today and a lot of our passes is going astray out to the wings, or either falling short to Johnson or Sim or whatever, then like, okay, it's not happening. There are times when just hoof it to get the pressure off. You might hoof it up. I mean, like Richarlison might be marked by 2 players. One of them might mistime a header. You might do this or do that. And suddenly you might create something. That's why I'm not against throwing crosses into the box at times when there aren't many people in there, because a defender might make an error and suddenly you get a bit of panic. Ball gets passed a couple of times and you get a chance on goal or something. So I'm not against at the back. I like playing out the back. But, but at the time, it makes me nervous. And I think in this situation now, we've put a player in a corner where he can't really do much with the ball. And the last thing Ange wants to do is hoof it. So because he's not allowed to hoof it, he ends up giving it away. I don't know what you guys think.
I'll say this.
Can I say this? There's some in the chat. They're saying, why are we complaining? We got 3 points. We're complaining because we haven't been playing well. Yes, we got a draw and we got a victory. We want to see our team play better. We want to see them play better. So, of course, we're going to criticize because if it was any other team today, a good team today, it probably would have been a draw, And so it's the reason why we analyze them. Yes, I'm happy. We got the 3 points. We move on.
It's a constructive critique. We're not being negative. We're making a constructive. Look, we shouldn't ignore the cracks. If we win, fine. But if there's cracks that have been papered over and that win, we're doing a critique. That's all. I mean, I always like to look for the positive myself. Like Charlie, you were going to say something. Go on.
Yeah, no. So I was going to say. So here's the thing, right? When people are saying we need a striker, we need forward, which I agree, we need much better forwards. But I'll say it again. I think with Son down the middle, if we get 2 proper wide players with Son in the middle, I think that's more than good enough. I think because. Think of it. Here's the thing. I don't have to break this down, but if you want to build a good squad, if you want to have not just a team but a squad, especially for the forward areas, you need not only 2 good players in each position, but you need a variety of profiles. So for the striker, you need a kind of pacey, kind of like more quick one that runs off the shoulder. Plus, you need kind of like a guy that you can whip crosses into. It's the same with wide players. You need kind of proper, direct, pacey wide players that have physicality. But then you also need wide players that can actually create chances and kind of be like attacking wide players in a way, like Kulu, that profile. So I think a lot of people say, "Oh, we need this player, we need that player." It's not that simple, I think if you're going to have a proper squad that can actually compete for trophies, you need a variety of good players in each position. And that's not just for the forward line. That's everywhere. That's the midfield and the defence as well. So, yeah, that's what I'll say on that. But honestly, going back to the Son conversation, I think Son was man of the match for me today. That's honestly, I thought when he came on, you saw straight away when he went past the Brighton player, he actually took him on, which none of the wide players were doing before. So, and obviously, I already pointed out the assist that he got. So, for me, I'd give man of the match to Son. Honestly, I think he was.
Do you know what, Charlie? I think there's an argument to be had here that this man deserves it. Romero's
up there as well. I agree.
I'll tell you what, right? I've heard fans bash him today, right? And I'm just thinking.
No, he was our second. I think he was our second best player behind Son.
I wonder if fans actually understand this. Right?
Son was up there, yeah. We weren't very good.
Sar for me gave too many passes away, but he had a good game. But the thing with Romero is decent, today, you see that penalty that Van der Ven gave away. If that was Romero, imagine the rivals, the YouTubers, the media. It would be murder.
Still, if it was Romero, you'd have my man Stefan in the chat.
1 minute earlier, BDP gave up the ball, gave a turnover that Brighton did not score. And then he had the penalty. And I'm like, BDP is playing a bad first half.
But Maury, you see, the thing with Romero is that I don't think fans still don't understand. They don't get what kind of player he is. He's not a player that should be going to ground. If he goes to ground, it literally is a last resort. In football, we call it emergency defending. And he's not one of these. Look, I'll show you here. Defensive principles at the bottom, where it says emergency defending and goal protection. That is a last resort. You want to delay, deny, and dictate. That's what Romero does. And what he does is the amount of times he's right close to a player, and his foot just nicks in front of you and he pokes it away from you and he wins possession and that player falls over. Everyone's like, oh, Romero's fouled him. No, he's poked it out of your feet and then he triggers the transition. A lot of our transitions is from Romero doing that little poke in front of the player. And not only did he do that, Maury, the quality of his passing in the transition, it's like an arrow
well, still, do you know what it is?
Romero. That is Romero.
Do you know what it is? That's proactive defending. That's exactly what it is. It's proactive.
Charlie,
defending.
That's
at Atalanta, he did the same exact thing for their attack. For Argentina, it's the same thing. Today, even last season, I was saying this. You can find clips. I was saying this. People just he's rash. People do not recognize what he does in Ange's offense, even in Conte's offense last year. He creates. Saliba doesn't even do that for Arsenal. This guy, he gets the interception, he gets the tackle, and immediately he starts the attack. And today, he was more like a defensive midfielder today, but no touch with Richarlison, garbage, Werner, all these guys wasted those passes coming from Maddison and Romero. Notice that passes from Maddison and Romero. Because Romero was trying. He was up even in the second half. He was up there trying to create, trying to get something for our team. And
Mari, what did you think of?
We don't appreciate that. We don't appreciate that. So we want him gone. Okay.
I know we weren't great today. What did you think of
Have your way.
I thought Porro was okay. He made a few good interceptions.
Have your way. Have your way.
Mari, can I add?
Real Madrid or Barcelona and contributes to their attack. Go have your way.
Mari, can I add to what you're saying about Romero? I'll even go as far to say this: that remember that Chelsea game, the red card? That wasn't a red card, and I'll say it controversial.
No,
it wasn't a red card.
That's
it wasn't. Enzo
planted
his foot.
That's going to kick off a shitstorm, that one.
It wasn't a red card, I'll say it.
It wasn't a red card.
I thought today he played really, really well. And since he's come back from his last suspension, I think he's pretty much kept a cool head since that point.
100%.
And I thought he was man of the match. But if you give it to Pape Sarr, there's argument. I do want to address this as well. Oh, mate, all day. If you were there, you'd know. I do want to address this. Stefan, our friend, he says De Zerbi had one pre-season the same as Ange. He also lost all of his best players. Stel, stop talking shite and giving good vibes explanations. Stefan, just put some context on the shite that you're chatting. Your boy Arteta, after season 1, where were you? 8th. In your second season, where were you? 8th. You talk about losing good players. We lost the best striker in the world. Where are we? 4th. We've won 14 games, one less than your 4-year project team, who have won 15, and Liverpool, Man City have won 16 games. Spurs have won 14. We've only won 2 less than the team top of the league and the team that's probably going to win the league. Put some respect on Ange's name, man. Put some respect on his name for now. This is first season, also, 6 months in. I can't have gooners. I can't have gooners talking like this. Look,
apparently we're the luckiest club in the Prem. That's why.
When they started, right? When they started, where were they? For 2 years.
True.
Luckiest club in the Prem. We can talk about all the 1-0s, 2-1s that they've just scraped, and I'm not even going to go into that.
Listen, I think Arsenal are better than Spurs. I think Arsenal will maybe get close to win the league. I still think they'll drop off.
Nah.
I think Arsenal are better than Spurs. But if you're going to compare Ange after 6 months, look at your own doorstep before you start criticizing us. 14 wins in your first season after 24 games.
And another fact, which rivals have been going on when I've noticed it in my group and things like, oh yeah, but you've conceded 8 goals, right, in the 90th plus minute in games, right? Now them 8 goals have only cost us 5 points still. 5 points. Because 2 of them I think were against Burnley or whatever, right? Well, how about this then? Man City have lost 6 points from conceding goals plus 90 minutes. Who mentions that? No one, right? We're doing okay. We're doing brilliantly. Beginning of the season, everyone expected we were going to finish 8th. We're doing a constructive critique. We're not being negative in that respect because we don't want to paper over obvious cracks. We know the squad needs more quality depth, don't we? We know. And when you talk about strikers, I'm pretty convinced, even if they make it or not, that Parrott will be in the first team squad next season because he scored 7 goals. No, don't, Charlie. Don't do this. Hear me out, right? He'll be in there. Yeah, but have you seen him play, Charlie?
I've seen him play. I've seen him play for Spurs.
No, I get a lot of Spurs fans before Spurs players were invented start talking about academy players, this, that, and the other, and they've never watched the game, right? Still will have watched a lot of young players play. He's a coach, right? So he scored 7.
Adrian, I watch a lot of European football, and to be totally honest, I don't take the Eredivisie seriously. I think it's a shit league.
Right. No, fine. That's fine as well. But I was coming on to this point, right, which I'm making. He's 22. Now, Ajax and PSV have been looking at him, right, in the Eredivisie, obviously, because, if he was to be sold. So now we need to see next season because Kane didn't show any great promise on all his loans, right? He's 22. So we need to see him back in the squad and Velez as well, right?
Velez, I like. I'll say that. I like Velez.
I really like Velez.
I like the look of him.
But
I'm not. I don't know how good he actually is, but from what I've seen, he has things that I kind of like the look of. To be honest,
when I watch a play, he's got that sparkle. He's got that sparkle.
I don't know about that, but he looks decent.
I mean, with Parrott might be a hit or he might be a miss. Most players end up a miss when they're on loan anyway. But we need to have a look at him in the Premier League to see, can he do it? Can he do it? Because
Adrian,
if he can't, we get rid of him, Charlie.
But hold on, the Eredivisie, are we forgetting? Look at United. They've signed all these players like Anthony and like all of these Eredivisie players. Look how terrible they are.
All right. So just to add a caveat to that, then, right? Marcus Edwards was at Excelsior. We must have some sort of arrangement with them. And look at how he's doing now. Right? He's supposed to be a 56 million pound player in Portugal now.
Charlie, do you know what? I don't think you can look at a league.
We are too harshly rejecting of players. Now I know that most of these academy players don't make it, but they'll have careers probably in the lower leagues or abroad, whatever, right? But we shouldn't think, I mean, the player I would bring in, I think perfect for Ange, go out and spend 60 mil. I'd take Vlahovic from Juventus, and there's skin. I would go and get him. I would take him in front of a Troy Deeney. No, not Troy Deeney. What I'm talking about, a guy at Brentford, Ivan Toney. I would take him in front of him every day of the week. So,
Adrian, Vlahovic isn't leaving. I've said this on loads of shows. He's not leaving because if he was gonna leave, it was gonna happen in the summer. But him and Allegri have kind of patched things up, I guess.
They have patched things up.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving.
I want to talk to you about something it's gaining a bit of momentum with a lot of Spurs fans. We kind of touched it on tonight, but I want to get what you guys think. So there were some substitutions made, and a lot of fans questioned those subs. I personally thought Timo had to come off. I thought he wasn't having a good game. Son coming on for the left made perfect sense for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about some of the midfield options that went off. When I'm seeing Højbjerg's and the skips coming on, I get worried. And I thought Højbjerg had a stinker. I don't think Kulu should have come off because I thought Kulu was just getting into the game. He was beginning to get in his groove and we pulled him off. I would have liked Kulu to stay on. And Brennan came on and had a terrible game. But because he got the winner now, they'll say it was a great decision, masterclass. I disagree. I think whoever was back post would have scored that. But what do you guys make of it? Because this guy put a tweet out. And a lot of Spurs fans are kind of beginning to talk along this train of thought. A win is a win, but Ange, his in-game management stinks. But at the moment, who cares because we've won? And then someone replied saying, it's worrying to be honest. And this kind of links into us saying, look, we're not quite playing right. We're getting results. We are fourth. We are winning, but is it down to Ange's game management or is it down to other factors like I explained earlier where I just think certain things need to be ironed out and that comes with time, practice, drilling it into the players? Are some players just not up to it? Are some players underperforming? Because there is that conversation happening now in the fan base where people are asking questions of Ange's game management. People are talking about it.
So
by the way, I don't buy it. I don't buy that. But I'm just saying a lot of fans do.
I'll give you one example. Like I said, no one is above reproach. Everybody, president, your pastor, your priest, whoever, your manager, no one's above approach. If we didn't get the victory or the result, the first thing people would have said, all right, right. People would have said, some people would have said, oh, why you didn't start Sonny? Or, like me, why Sonny didn't start the second half, right? But because we won, people are not going to bring that up. They're going to say it's a masterclass when he brought Son in. I felt that Sonny needed to come in right at halftime. And even the American broadcast will say, oh, Ange has not made a change for Son at halftime. Okay, we'll see when and when the network is saying when he's going to make that change, because Spurs, basically the network, NBC Peacock was saying we needed to make that change. And so, and I was like, when he's going to put Sonny, because the longer he takes, and if we don't win, because even if we draw, people are going to say, Ange, why you didn't start Sonny? Or why you didn't start him in the second, start of the second half? And so I could see that in a balanced view that some people will question that. But since we won today, most of the fans or those who are non-critical are going to be like, we got 3 points, we don't care. We're just talking about.
I think to be honest, I think to add on to what you're saying, Mario, I think to be honest, it's not positive or negative, whatever it is. It's more of just analyzing it as a whole. You're taking all aspects of the game into account. You're not just looking at the good aspects, but you're also looking at the bad aspects as well. It's just an analysis of the whole game. It's not being negative, it's not being positive, whatever it is. It's just looking at the game as a whole and just analyzing everything that happened, not just the things that people want to hear. So
I think lack of quality on the bench. I think if Lo Celso was fit, he would have come on. I mean, even though he might not be staying with us, I think he would have come on. He's a good footballer, but he's just injury prone. I think he would have come on instead of Højbjerg. Let's be fair. Højbjerg cannot play in this system. And now Højbjerg's had good games. He's come on. He's had good cameo roles when he's come on as substitute. He just can't play this system. We'll keep Skip just because he's homegrown. And Skip's happy to sit there on the bench, so we'll keep him. But that's not a big thing because if you're talking about a squad of 25, you're talking about having 11 on the field, and we shouldn't talk about the level. We should be talking about a 16 because
hold on, Adrian. What did I say about having not just 11 good players and not just having a good squad? But I'm saying having a variety of different players.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
For the forward line, for the strike, for example, target man and a kind of off the shoulder striker.
And you need. And there's a lot of myths in football when they talk about a plan A, no plan B. Listen, plan B is bovine scatology, right? Doesn't exist because teams set up and they go out to play. You play on a team. Like you might put more defensive players on if the team's got two fast wingers, like a Liverpool or a Man City or something like that. You might change it a little bit. If things go and you've got your bench of 5 players, basically you're hoping to bring on people that can make things happen, that give you something different on the field. There isn't. I've never believed in a plan B. I mean, to me, a plan B is rubbish because you can't have, even if you've got time to sit down with your players and sort your tactics out for a game plan, right? And then sort of think, if it doesn't work, guys, I want you to convert to this because it's just not going to happen, right? It's just rubbish.
So I think it's interesting, actually. By the way, Terence Sampson, thank you for the super chat. He says, Ange is too one-dimensional. It always ends in disaster. I don't know what's ended in disaster just yet, but let me know. What do you mean by disaster, Terence?
We're 4th in the league.
I think when so there's two schools of thought. If plan A doesn't work, go to plan B, or there's Adrian's school of thought, which is if plan A isn't working, do plan A better. All right. So there's no wrong or right. The result at the end of the game will decide what was wrong or right. Because sometimes you've got the right plan, but you're just not executing it. And I watch Spurs play. We've got the right plan. We're just not executing it. And I think that will take time. And it needs a better... The way we play, I think Charlie said it earlier, we play right on the edge. You tried to say we're right on the brink, right? You need technical players and quick decision makers. And they've got to be in most positions for this to work. And not every player at Spurs is there or thereabouts. We're still a bit of a mixed mash. We're better than what we were last season in terms of having those players. But we're still. I said it earlier in the week. I still think we need 8 players. I still think we need 8 more players. I think we need cover for the wing backs. I think we need another number 6. I think we need 2 wide players. I think we need another striker, and I think we need cover for Maddison. So that's about 8 players. If we're serious about title challenges and challenging in Europe, then there's no way just a couple of signings and we're there. No way. We can't have a situation where Timo, Brennan, Højbjerg, Skip, a Sessegnon, an Emerson Royale, they are allowed to come on and we think the system's going to be just as slick. It won't. The system won't be as slick.
It disrupts the rhythm. And if we want proper cover for Maddison, we should go and get Kubo. That's who we should get. If any of you
you play Divine. Bring the new kid in.
Kubo.
I mentioned a player who's won a World Cup with Argentina, who's been very, very good. It's the same team Almiron came from of Newcastle. That is, and it would be cheap. And Manchester City was looking at.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Thiago Almada.
Yeah. Almada.
Thiago Almada would be Daniel Levy type price deal, 10 mil to 12 mil. And the guy scores an assist, and he's killing it in the U23. He's not going to last. He's going to be out of Atlanta United long. He's not going to be there too long. Someone's going to sign him for a good price, and he could be a good backup to a Madison. I mean, even challenge him for his job. Look up the kid, Thiago Almada. I was talking to
Maury. I've seen him. I was
months ago. I was talking to Asthmatic about him, and Asthmatic's like, "Yo, that would be a good signing." Good signing.
I think either him or I said Kubo, because Kubo can play out wide as well, and Kubo played for Real Madrid as well, so he knows what it is to be at like a huge club and stuff.
What about Edison or Manu Kone?
Kone's superb. He's absolutely superb. What about
wide player? What about Pedro Goncalves of the Sporting?
Goncalves.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more of a Kubo type, like kind of attacking mid, can play out wide.
See, there are players out there. I mean, we can all pretty list ones we like. I mean,
I do. The thing about the striker, for me, and I said this. I said it 2 weeks ago. I said it last week, and I get nothing but hate for saying this, but I get proven right every single time. And people, so far, no one can say shit to me. You just can't, right? I said, Richarlison, against the bottom 12 teams, he scores goals. He's got assists. But can you do it against the top 8 in the league? Because so far, he hasn't done it. He simply doesn't.
Has he got his first goal away at Liverpool?
No, this season, Adrian.
Sorry.
That's okay. If he gets 1 or 2, that's for me, that doesn't cut it. Because look, I'll show people again. This is this season, right? I monitor it every week. These are all the bottom teams that we've played, home and away and cup games. And you can see Richarlison's name. Look, Richarlison, Everton. He got 3 goals he scored against Everton. He got 1 against Forest, 1 against Sheffield. He got 1 against Brentford, 1 against Bournemouth at home. Then he's got an assist against Sheffield United as well. Richarlison does well here. Once you get to this top 8, other than the Newcastle game, and let's be honest, Newcastle were depleted that day. We're not beating Newcastle 4-1 at St James's. At Arsenal away, he came on, did nothing. Villa at home, I think he was injured for that one. Brighton away, he did nothing. Today, Brighton at home, done nothing. Liverpool away, Liverpool at home this season, he got 1 assist. That's 1 game. Man City away, he did nothing. I think he got pulled. Against Man City in the FA Cup, nothing. We spoke about Newcastle at home, and then West Ham at home, nothing. So this was the latest one. Brighton at home today, no assists, no goals. Right? I'm not doing it to try and make him look and sound rubbish. I'm just showing you the facts. Right. He does not turn up in the big games. And here's the thing.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for Richarlison. Right?
I just want to say one thing before you play devil's advocate. If you don't win the big games, you ain't winning the Premier League. And if you can't beat these teams, you ain't winning a trophy. Because these teams here are the teams that get to the semi-finals and the finals. With the exception of a couple of teams that are big teams that are currently mid-table, like here, look, Chelsea, Man United and Wolves. But again, even here, Richarlison goes missing. He got 1 goal against Man United. At home, nothing. Chelsea at home, nothing. Wolves away, nothing. And they're the mid-table teams. He only turns up against the weaker teams.
Right. Okay.
And I'm not trying to dig him out, people.
No.
People watching Tottenham away, I'm not trying to dig him out. I'm sharing with you the facts. This is why we need a better striker. Because Son and Kane, they turn up in the big games. And do you know what? Guess what? Look whose name appears the most in this.
Where was Kane today?
Son. Okay, but look at this season. Away to Arsenal, Son gets 2 goals. Away to Brighton, Son gets an assist. At home to Brighton today, Son gets an assist. Liverpool at home, Son scores. Man City away, Son scores, Son gets an assist. Newcastle at home, Son 2 assists, 1 goal. Heung-min Son turns up in the big games.
Yes, he does.
He turns up.
Well, a question to all of you then, right? Now, Richarlison had a shit start of the season. He's now got 9 goals in 9 games, right? Because today
against the weak teams, right? Against the weak teams.
Fine. I get your point, still. Get your point. So, with 14 games to go, him having a poor start to the season, if he gets 6 goals, ends up with 15 after a crap start, whether it's been an injury issue or not, we don't know. We'll only know when he's got a free season. We still bring in another striker. I want another striker brought in. Right?
Wide players, like I was talking about.
Do we keep him then?
I've got no issues with Richarlison.
Don't ever mention backup to me because we're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. When people start
Adrian,
backup,
I think if there's 20 minutes to go and you need to just do something different and you want to whip some balls into the box, I can see a place where Richarlison comes on and gets you headers. If you want someone that's going to be a menace and just cause aggro and maybe pop up with a tap-in, I can see a place for him. But if we're talking about someone that can be a proper striker, that can drop a bit deep, good first touch, link up the play, spin and receive it, this guy is not that player. The reason he does well against the lesser teams is because, for me, that's his level. I think that is his level. And I don't think he's rubbish, but for where Spurs want to be, none of the data backs him up being the guy.
See, the reason I want Velez and Parrott in the squad, right? And I still want to bring a striker in.
Yeah. I have a question for Mappin. So you're just telling me, okay. I thought you said Richarlison. My bad.
This is what I was saying.
Yeah, Son starting in the middle with 2 quality wingers would be perfect.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Totally agree.
I agree with you. I agree with you. 100% agree with you.
That's what I've been saying.
He gets bullied in some games with a low block, Sonny, when he's in the middle. He's bullied.
I agree with you. Yeah. No, I just think people are. This is where, like I said, stats do lie. It can be deceptive. Like last week was a perfect example, right? All right. Yes, Richarlison scored the 2 goals.
Not one bad game. It's every big game. Mapping. Don't be dishonest with what I've said.
Yeah. Your other post was good. The other one was not good. Not one bad game. Last week, the same things I'm talking about this week, he did the same thing last week. He can't hold up the play. He can't distribute. He can't pass. He can't do anything. The reason why we did not criticize him last week is because he scored 2 goals. So it's kind of really hard to criticize someone who scored a goal, but everything else he's done was crap. Because last week, everything else was
He's
crap.
not as bad as you make out, Maury.
Where's Everton in the league? Adrian, where's Everton in the league? Where
We
are
didn't
they?
win last week.
No, he's not as bad. The last 2 games he had for Spurs, the little run of form, he's been good. His pressing and hold up play has been good. And
Against the weak teams. Against the weaker teams.
Devil's advocate, right? You don't come through as a youngster who's playing football through your academy, play for a few teams, work your way into Premier League standard, go to Watford, go to Everton, play for your national side if you are total crap, right? Now, I know he isn't the ideal striker, but he also isn't as bad as some people perceive him. He's not. Right?
Wait, Adrian, hold on.
No, I'm not saying he's good enough for us. I'm not saying he's good enough for us.
Let me repeat what I said. I'm not saying Richie is crap. What I'm saying is he doesn't turn up for the games that will define whether you win trophies or not. All those top 8 teams with the exception of Man United and Chelsea, who are mid-table, who we know are bigger clubs, and they will bounce back eventually one day.
Nope.
Richarlison
Not Chelsea.
does not
They're
perform against. Okay, maybe not Chelsea, and good. We don't like them. But
done.
what I'm trying to say is, where we're at as a club now, right? We can either just be this top 4 club forever and just be happy with Champions League and just maybe going on a bit of a cup run. If we want to win trophies, those top 8, top 9, whatever they are, they're the teams you must beat to league titles and you must beat in semi-finals and finals. To win a trophy. If Richarlison doesn't turn up in those games, what is the point?
You see the difference?
I'm not saying that still because
I'm asking the question.
I will back you up, right?
Adrian, you watch a lot of football, right?
I will back you up, right? Because since 1992, on average, to win the league, right, you have to score 82 goals. Now, in the last 10 seasons, Man City have won it 6 times. They've upset the apple cart pot a couple of times because in one season, I think they scored 106 goals and another game, and they scored 100. So in the last 10 seasons, you've got to score 87. So now you've got a guy between 82 and 87 goals, right? I know we've scored 40. Have we scored 44? Someone can check it up now. Google it now. I just think we're fall short. And this is why it's not just Richarlison. We need the midfielders if we're going to win a league, you can win cups, but if we're going to win a league, we need like we've all talked about tonight, we need the wide players to chip in with goals. I don't see Werner doing that, right? And we need the midfielders to chip in more. We know Maddison will, right? I mean, you need a sort of Lampard type players going to bang in loads of goals as well. You know, when Man United were winning leagues, when my mate, my best friend, who was best man at his wedding, Arsenal fan, and I said to him, like, he said to me about Arsenal's chances winning the league. Ferguson was having rows with Wenger at the time. I said, well, look at Man City's midfield, Dave. I said, you've got Giggs and Beckham wide, but you've got Scholes and Keane in midfield that will get you goals. Where are we going to have a midfield that scores that amount of goals?
Adrian, Maury, can I just...
No, I'm going to say this. Adrian, you saw the first game of the day, right? The City-Everton game.
Hey.
And you saw Erling Haaland, right? 1v1, right? To ice the game. I mean, he had a brace, right? And 1v1 was able to score just a beautiful goal.
Yeah, both his goals were
and then today, you know, when Richarlison had his 1v1, of course, it was not successful. And, you know, I'm like, man, Kane. Well, not Kane today because Bayer had him on lock and key. But I'm like, man, we had Kane. You know, we had, I mean, if it was Sonny would have scored. And it's just, Richarlison at best will be a squad player for us because to get two strikers in the summer for Spurs, it's a lot, you know, other than getting one. So I would say, to be fair, okay, you could come off from the bench. Kind of like Johnson today. You came from the bench. Actually, I want Johnson gone. But you know, from the bench, you know, you come off from the bench. But to win a trophy, a starting striker, Richarlison is not that guy. He is not that guy.
Maury, I agree with you, and I just want to address a couple of comments here, and then we're going to bring in Mr. Box Office. Right. First of all, super chat from Connor, CMO Sports. If you don't know the channel, like and subscribe, CMO Sports. He says, Stel, what do I ask my barber for if I want that trim? You ask your barber for the goat. The goat.
Big up. I just want to say big up to that Gooner channel. You know, everyone subscribe to the best Gooner channel.
Big up to that Arsenal channel.
So.
Big Mike says, I'm sorry, but Richie works his socks off for the team. Mike, take your emotion out of it and apply logic.
Don't win you anything.
This is where fans go wrong. Luton Town are the hardest working team in the league. Is that what you want? Like, let's put some logic to this, right? And then, Snake, you say support Richie, don't pray to be right. I'm not praying to be right. These are facts. You can't argue facts. Do you know why? Because these are events that have actually happened, including today.
Your eyes today.
take your emotion out of it, Spurs fans. I know Richie's scoring goals. I've said to Adrian about 5 minutes ago, I would keep him as an impact sub. I'm saying if you want to win trophies, he's not the guy, right? Take your emotion out of it and apply the logic that I'm putting forward to you. He doesn't step up to the big 8. And let's say we go away to Man City. Let's say Man City come to us in the Premier League and he scores a goal. That doesn't change anything. You've got to be consistent. Son does it in almost every one of those games. So, Alex, Box Office, big up. If you don't know Mr. Box Office, subscribe to his channel.
I was talking about big game players.
Alex, I want to ask.
Yes, Adrian.
Alex.
Yes, Adrian. Big game players. Exactly. Box Office, you at the game today. Very quickly, got one more super chat. I want to get it in before I miss it because I always miss Wayne Holland's super sticker. Big up to Wayne Holland, Leicester City fan. He loves the channel, and Wayne is a top supporter of the channel. Big up to Wayne. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, Alex, go for it, man. Talk about whatever you want.
Unleash.
I mean, there's not really that much I need to unleash about because I've been to how many games now? I've been to mostly all the home games at the moment. I watch them mostly on the TV. I'm seeing the same patterns. Just a moments team. That's it. I keep on hearing from other fan bases that we play the best football, or Brighton play better football than us all day long, every single day. I'm sorry that the way that we're popping it off, the only thing that they haven't got is a goal scorer, and that's the only reason why they didn't win the game today. I'm being honest with you. We only had a moment, like 15 minutes. And that's what we do. That's what we do every single time. We have a moment every single. We have a moment in the game where we look good and we look like we scored the goal with Sarr. And then
Alex, we had more shots and more big chances. I'm just saying, statistically, we had more big chances and more shots.
Well, that sums up why Brighton are where they are at the moment, because they play great football, but in the final third are not great. That's it. And they had their manager that wasn't even there today. I actually came up the game thinking next week's more harder. But I'm quite clear what my thoughts are at the moment. When people are making excuses for Richarlison, well, there's a reason why Kane goes over to Bayern Munich and says, well, that's why the mentality is different than to here.
What happened today, Alex, to Bayern?
Well, no, but I'm not saying. But the point I'm making is, Charlie, is the fact is that there's a reason why players leave this club. Right, and they see a different mentality, different mentality to here to what is over in big clubs, and we're told that it's a big club. I'm trying to be respectful to people like I'm being respectful to the people like Ellie, right? Who big up to Ellie, by the way, who knows her football, by the way, yeah, and big up to people like Kruva, yeah. But like I said before, yeah, and even Asthmatic as well, yeah. But the point I'm making is, yeah, I'm sorry, like today. Bentancur, I'm sorry, useless. Sorry, the only player that looked good.
Alex, do you think he's fit? Alex, do you think he's fit?
Yeah, maybe he's not fit, but he's not playing well. He's not playing well. The only player that had his head up high today was Poro, because he was saving our asses every single time. He was saving our asses every single time.
Facts.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, I've got to this point now where I know what I'm talking about. This league's so bang average because we should be nowhere near.
Alex,
I'll tell you right now, for 100%, and I don't care what anybody says to me, yeah? Right? If this team does not improve, 110%, we are going to be like Man United all day, every single day.
Alex,
yeah? Because they'll be better next season. And if it's that easy for Tottenham Hotspur to do well this season, why can any other team do that? You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Alex,
it's the same old patterns every single time. Adrian, if you're going to give me excuses, I'm going to battle you every single time. I'm sorry. I'm done with this trying to be nice about it anymore. You're not changing my mind whatsoever.
No, I'm not saying that.
It's rubbish. I'm sorry. I've been to every game, and no one's telling me. And then they give me FFP Kings. I've told them FFP Kings. We love Daniel Levy. I've popped a Coglu. I've told them everything else in everybody else over the world, and we are not that good.
We have all been in agreement here tonight that Brighton were better than us. No one's denying that.
I said Brighton should have beaten us 2 or 3-1.
Right. What I'm saying, but what I would say, where I won't defend Brighton on, is the fact that they may well have gone on and won the game if they didn't stop piss balling about time wasting, which they did. They didn't seem to know what they do. They didn't seem to know whether to be a bit more urgent and press forward or sit back. There was a period in the second half when they dominated us completely, right? But then they also sat back and a goalkeeper still was time wasting and all that. I thought, what are you doing? You're better than us.
Well,
and you're mixing it up. You're mixing up between time wasting and playing better than us, right? And that's what they did. So they didn't deserve. At least we had the guts to keep going forward. Years ago, that had been 1-1, and the tone of this podcast would have been totally different, right? But it wasn't. We got the 3 points. I'm happy with it. It doesn't paper over the cracks I see in the team.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go on.
Big up, Dietrich.
So big up, everyone. Can I just say one thing, Will? To everyone that was praising Timo Werner, he is shit. He is absolutely shit. I'll keep on saying him and Kulos. No, we arguably have the worst wingers in the league. I'm not even joking with that. They are the worst wingers.
I would agree. Yo,
Johnson sucks. Kulusevski sucks. Werner sucks. Solomon sucks. They all suck.
I think for a big six club, we are massively behind. We are definitely behind.
But I would take Luton's wingers over Spurs. I'm not even joking with that.
Townsend and Ogbene.
They have better wingers. We have the
We can't criticise Solomon when we haven't seen enough of him. That's not fair. That's just not fair. He may be crap, Solomon, but we can't criticise him.
Listen. Dietrich was talking. Dietrich, did the thought came in your head? Because the thought came in my head. Did the thought come in your head where you said, man, I would love Danny Welbeck over Johnson?
But I would take Danny Welbeck over Richarlison.
No, I'll take him.
No. Danny Welbeck over Richarlison. Danny Welbeck doesn't score the same number of goals.
It's not about goals for me.
Dietrich, I've just put this case forward why for me Richarlison isn't the guy to take us to the promised land. But Welbeck versus Richarlison.
Just compare the game. No, today. Richarlison versus Welbeck. Did Welbeck lose possession that many times? Did he misplace his passes? No. I'm not saying Welbeck is a word.
Right, hold on. You've done two things here. You've said you'd take Richie over Welbeck, but then you're comparing them from one game they both played in.
No. I never
Richie this season versus Welbeck. If you compare today's game, then
I'm comparing today. I'm comparing today. Just today.
All right. Yeah, today, yeah, on one-off game. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get that.
Yeah,
and then one-off game, yeah, but not everyone
was kissing Werner's ass. Oh, this guy can pass. Oh, he can beat his man. Imagine you losing every single time possession against fucking Lamptey, one of the worst one-on-one defenders in the league. He cannot pass. He cannot cross. What is he good at? Even Kulusevski, I'm not even trying to take the piss out of it.
Right.
Shit.
Right, hold on.
Well, actually, to correct you, Dietrich, Werner did beat him once, but then he wasted that opportunity. To be fair, he did beat him once because I said, oh, snap. He actually beat him. And then it was wasteful. So
Guys, Werner's had 4 games. He needs to at the end of the season. We've got 14 games to go when you can all do an assessment on here, or Stowe will probably do an assessment of the whole squad at the end of the season. Still will. So, you can't judge him on 4 games. He's been okay, not outstanding. He's been okay.
Adrian, what pisses me off? It took Son one pass to show how world class he is.
That's what I said. Werner was in the same position.
It took him one pass.
And Son had one chance, and he took
one chance. Yeah. It took
a comparison then, Dietrich. So I respect your opinion and Alex's and all that, even though I disagree with most of the time. Right? when Son come to Spurs in a whole season. He went up a pot, said, I want to leave until they tweaked it.
Yeah, but
right? It took him a season. So we are too quick to prejudge players and be harshly rejecting of players, right? And we always do it on a game-to-game basis. Now, a constructive critique is fair. I don't mind that, right? But, you don't just throw a player under the bus because of that.
Adrian,
Do I think I'm not... I want to see end product from
Adrian.
Werner.
The difference.
He goes at the end of the loan period.
Adrian,
if you don't score goals, he goes. Because I don't care how many assists the player gets. You're in a wide position. You're in attack. you've got to score me goals.
But
If
Adrian,
you can't score me goals,
you
you're
do
gone.
you see the difference with him and Son on his first season? We saw something with Son. We saw like a bit of class. We saw a bit of like finesse or shooting. When I see Werner, I just see an idiot on the field.
Also, Son's first season, he was injured for a lot.
And he was injured too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, with Son, we saw it in his first season.
You slammed Kulusevski, right?
He is the worst winger. He is worse than Werner.
All right. That's cool. You had your opinion. I'll say this though: who's in the top 3 Premier League players for progressive passes this season?
Please don't do this.
I don't give a shit.
Don't do this.
No. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Deceptive stat.
Wait, Murray, 1 minute. I got one more. All right. Across all top 7 leagues in Europe, not just the Premier League, across Europe, France, Spain, and Germany, you name it, Premier League included, which player is joint with Mohamed Salah for creating the most chances for the attackers to score? Who's number 1 with Salah? Kulusevski.
I think it's a deceptive stat. I honestly think
it's not a good stat.
It's a deceptive stat.
Murray, it's not. Do you know why? Because Luka Modric, when he came to Spurs, he created 94 chances. Do you know how many got converted by the strikers?
Okay, how many goals does...
Five. He goes to Real Madrid. That number rockets because he was feeding players like what's his name? Adebayor at Tottenham, and he goes there.
Ronaldo.
So Kulu, what's he feeding? He's feeding them. But they're not hungry.
No, but you see, for me, a quality
He gets only 1 game. I'm like, literally, I think that stat is really deceptive.
No, that's over this season. Kulusevski and Mohamed Salah have created the most chances of any players across all European leagues. This is a fact. But because we're so fixated on Kulu not playing well, we're ignoring the actual.
Okay, how many goals
good stuff he
Stelios,
does.
I've seen him every single game. He's not been great, Bob. He's been crap.
Because the players he's feeding.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Stelios, don't even try that with me, bro. Because honestly, I've been watching this guy so long. My eyes don't deceive me. This guy's been crap. The only game he's been good. Sorry, the only time he's been good was Man City and Aston Villa. That was it.
Actually, no.
Are you telling me this guy was good? And he had 2 moments against Nottingham Forest. Adrian, don't chat that rubbish to me, bruv. I'm not in the mood. Seriously, don't chat that rubbish to me. Don't chat that rubbish to me. Seriously, I'm not in the mood. That's not what that rubbish. Point is, when I hear stats like that, that's what I've got. It's like crap, bruv. It's crap. I'm done with this, bruv. I'm done. I'm serious with this crap.
This is why I love you.
You're a nice bloke.
This is why I'm fed up. I'm hearing this crap with this Tottenham fans, and that's it. It's fabulous. It's so annoying sometimes. I just rubbish.
Like it, Alex.
No, just stop going on there. Just stop going on. My point is, I'm speaking now. I'm speaking now because I've had enough of this rubbish. When I see stats like that, it gets on my bloody nerves. I'm fed up with it, bro.
Go.
Can I just say something quick?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Stel. Just don't talk to me. Don't let Stel down. I'm fed up of you. Back to you, Stel. I'm done.
We went from 265 viewers down to 225 in like 5 seconds. All I said, literally, like 30 people just like left the show. All I said is that across all of Europe, right? I know people hate facts. These 3, Florian Wirtz, Mohamed Salah and Kulu, have created the most chances. But you know what? Salah's chances get converted because he's feeding Jota, Jimenez, Diaz. Who is Kulu feeding? Who is he feeding? Why can't we have this? Why can't this be a debate?
Stop. Can I ask you this question? No, ask you this question. Can I ask you this question? So Kulu has joined most for the most chances created according to the stats. Who would you take? Who would you take, him or Bernardo Silva that has less?
Or Vinicius.
No, they're different players. They're different players.
No, I don't care. No. They both play on the wing. Who would you take?
Vinicius plays on the wing. He had a great game today.
Who? I would take Bernardo Silva, yeah.
Okay, so it shows you how shit Kulu is.
Kulu started today for the goal.
What? Dietrich, just because I think one player's better than the other doesn't mean that the one that I didn't pick is shit.
No, he's not good enough. But if you cannot make
That's
the
like
starting
saying,
11, you're not
that's
good
like
enough.
saying to me, who do you want? Do you want Human Son or Harry Kane? I want Kane. Well, there you go. Son is shit. Oh, he's still good.
If I want players that can challenge for the starting 11, and Kulu cannot do that shit. So for me, he's not good enough.
What do you mean he can't do it? He's the top creator of chances this season.
I don't give a shit. He's not good enough. But he doesn't score goals.
Why don't you give a shit? Don't you? You came on the show and said that our wide players don't create nothing. I've just told you he creates more than anyone else in Europe.
Name me once he puts the ball like Son did for the second goal. Go and count how many times he does that.
But that's not Kulu's game. That's not Kulu's game. He comes inside and feeds you in.
Okay, so he's not good enough to do. Okay, but
no, because he's creating the chances. They're not putting them away, Dietrich.
No.
Yes, that's what the facts tell us.
But I cannot just go get me the fucking side that say he puts the ball inside the penalty box.
Stelos, how many times did he go down the wing and he comes inside all the time and then cuts on his right side? How many times did you do that? How many times did you do that?
No, I'll tell you what's going on here. I'll tell you what's going on here. You're expecting the wingers, the front three, you're expecting the left and the right players of the front three to be wingers. Yeah. They're not wingers. They're attacking wide players. We don't play with wingers. A 4-3-3, the front three, one is more of a striker, but these wide players, they will cross, they will get to the byline, pull it back, or they'll cut inside, create or shoot. They're not wingers like Iron Robin used to be, or like Damien Duff used to be, or Ryan Giggs. Those days have gone at Spurs. We don't play with that.
Okay,
we don't play with wingers. We play with attacking wide men. There's a difference. So what you're doing is you're looking at Kulu and you're saying he doesn't get lots of crosses in the box. He's not supposed to constantly do that. We don't play with wingers. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if they're attacking, so why doesn't he score goals?
That's a different conversation.
Right. But Stelios, can I just be honest? I
don't disagree. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't disagree. 1 minute. I don't disagree that Kulu isn't scoring enough. That wasn't my argument. I agree, Dietrich. Kulu should score more. He should take more shots. I think he passes when he should shoot. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. But you came on and said they don't create. And I challenged that. No, and now I've proved you that he does. You've changed the argument to shoot.
No, for
yes,
me, doesn't.
That's exactly what you did.
For me, creating is like what Son did. You take the ball, you be your man, and you give the cross, or you help the striker. For me, he doesn't do that enough. He always cuts in with his left every single time.
Why is that though, Dietrich? Why is that? Right? Do you think? Hold on. He does it a lot, right? Now, if he was supposed to be doing something else, or Ange wanted him to do something else, he would be doing that as well. He can use his right foot because he put a cross for Kane to score on the 3-2 win away to Man City the season before last, right?
But that was a long time ago.
Hold on. You cut in to the edge of the penalty area. So tactically, let's talk about little things that's tactically right here, right? That area on the penalty area where you've got that straight line is known as the close space, right? You move in there. Why do you move in there? Because you now narrow the distance between yourself and any of your attacking players that are in the penalty area or wide. So you can lay the pass off, which gives you a better chance of getting a scoring chance, right? That's why you do it. And he does it a lot. Now, if Ange didn't like him doing it, he wouldn't do it. I get fans saying it all this time. I still think it's tactical. I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong in my thinking here, right? But I still think it's tactical, or him being wise, using his intelligent awareness to know, like, it's all right blasting. He has
no intelligence.
How many times do you see, right, when a winger or a traditional winger gets down the wing, even the Liverpool wide players, right, when they had them with Firmino as in the middle, I see him play one full half against Arsenal. They kept banging cross after cross after cross after cross into the box. No goal. What happened? They got a corner. I think Maverick scored from the corner, and they went 1-0 up. And they won that game 4-0, actually. But, because it's always saying get down there and cross the ball, but you've got to have someone to cross the ball too, in that penalty area. Well, now under Ange ball, last season was different. Under Ange ball, we're getting more players forward.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Can you win a title with Kulu as your winger?
No.
Yeah, yes,
So
you
there you
can.
go.
No.
Oh, there you
The
go.
thing is, though, I don't
Okay.
He's not
understand
a
what Adrian
winger.
just said,
Stop
by the
calling
way,
him a
because
winger.
No,
honestly,
no,
I
on the
don't understand the
position.
tactic. Okay. Let me just say something just now because I don't understand what I've just heard there. By the way, the point I'm making is is that it's like for me, right? If you're thinking that's good enough for us, that I'm sorry, I don't understand it. Okay, because I've watched him how many times now at the stadium. I don't get it. Right, I don't understand the tactics anymore. I'm done with this trying to, because at the end of the day, I like my wingers to just get past the man. I'm sorry, right? And for me, we are too trusting on our fullbacks at the moment. They're doing too much because our midfielders are not doing enough. The only one that's doing enough at the moment is Sarr. That's it. Yeah, because he scored a goal today. Yeah, because in the second half he was okay. That was it. But for me, I'm sorry, I can't agree with this anymore. Because I know what I'm watching and it's not good. It's not
Alex,
good. If you're saying that's good enough, if it's good enough for you next season, if it's good enough for you next season, when we have to be better next season, and you can look anywhere else in the world and that's it. If you need to be better next season and be much better than we are this season, right? You're joking me. I'm sorry.
No,
Alex,
Yeah, and I know what I'm talking about because I've watched it too many times now. And if you're excusing this is why we're not doing well next season. I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying.
No.
I will say this.
Can you put Premier Hotspurs to the comments? No, quickly.
Let Mari speak. Everyone, let Mari speak. Let Mari speak.
Let me speak. I will say this because he's given that stat. Though I find it hard to believe, the stat is there. I've done a lot of the watch-alongs, me and Will, and live, we're like, man, this guy's processing is slow, non-effective on the wing and whatsoever. I want to see us, right, at least buy someone to challenge his place on the wing, right? Right? If we want to come together, peace meeting, right? Come to the middle. I want to see someone challenge him on the wing next season. If we don't do that, I'm going to be very, very discouraged, right? So I want Decky to fight. I want us to get someone so Decky can fight for his place next season coming up, right?
Maury, I said it earlier.
Can everyone agree on that? Can everyone agree on that? Can everyone?
I said it earlier. I think people say we need a striker, but I think with Son down the middle, if we get two wide players, I think that's cool. Two proper wide players that can actually have output.
No, can I say something quick? Can you put Premier Hotspurs comments?
I just want to say, listen, I'll bring that comment for you, Dietrich. But Alex, you bigged up Pape Sarr. Who put the ball in for Sarr to score today? Decky. Kulusevski.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right? Yeah, go on, Dietrich. What did you want me to do?
No, I just think like comments like that are actually fucking idiots.
Right, so Premier Hotspur says, it makes me laugh, these supporters that slag off our players, but these will be the same supporters who'll be kissing their backsides when we win something. Absolute flip-flops, box office, and Dietrich. Okay.
Okay, can I just say something to that? I'll let you have your time.
We haven't won anything, right? Well, we haven't won anything. I just want to establish that.
It just makes me laugh how much people can be actual fucking idiots. I never kissed fucking Kulu's ass. I never kissed Brennan Johnson's ass. I'll keep the same fucking energy. They're shit.
I think he's got short memories. Did I call Kulu a reject when he came in? Oh yeah, I did. I did say that. Yeah, I did. Did I call Johnson? I called him. I wasn't jumping up and down about him either, wasn't I? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did do that anyway. So obviously, I'm not a flip flop then. You know what I mean? Like I said about Postecoglou, I stuck by what I've said already as well. I said I'm not convinced as well. So that comment just sums up. You haven't been watching Mr. Box Office TV. That comment sums up that you should get subscribing to Mr. Box Office TV, and you should have got to know and need to get to know, and that's it. Back to you, Stellis. I'm done.
Question for Alex and
Dietrich.
Alex. Right? Question for Alex and Dietrich. Okay. Right. As much as he shit. Back to you, Stelios. When you look at the league table, and we are fourth, and we've won 14 games, which is only one less than Arsenal and only two less than the mighty Liverpool Man City. Do you agree, regardless of how bang average you think our players are, do you agree under Ange as a first season, he's doing well with us in the league?
No,
Is that fair?
no,
Why not?
because we don't play in Europe. We play like one game a week, and we can't even freaking be like third or second.
Okay, but that's not his fault though. He can only do the best with what
I don't
he's
care.
got.
I really don't
Dietrich,
care.
Okay. But all right. So where should he be then? Where should he be with this squad without Europe? Where should he be then?
No,
He
it should
needs to
be
be
challenged.
satisfied.
For me, if you play one game a week with these players, you should be minimum challenging for second.
I think
Yeah, but hold on. To challenge for second means we're challenging for a league title because they're practically
Actually, yeah,
top.
if you want to say that, yeah, challenge for the
So
league. Yeah.
you're saying that if Ange doesn't challenge for a league title in his first 6 months with Kane gone, and by the way, you used to call yourself Dietrich's Kane, and you got a picture of Kane right there now as well.
Where was Kane today?
You're
if anyone
expecting
watched?
for you to say
Leverkusen all the way.
is for you to say that Ange is having a good first season. We've got to be challenging for a title.
Yeah, those are my standards. For me, you have to be challenging for a title.
No, realistically,
regardless.
Dietrich,
Oh my
realistically.
I don't know. I really don't care about realistic. No, for me, the hope is to challenge for a title every season.
Dietrich,
I don't care about. No, I don't
Dietrich,
care about the outcome.
Dietrich, mate. Let me give you some perspective on this. Right, we have got Kane, Lloris, Perisic. Who else?
Have you seen Man City's squad, Dietrich? How the fuck do we challenge for a league title?
I'm not saying we're gonna win. I'm not saying we're gonna win the league. For me, minimum challenge. Those are my expectations.
How do you challenge when Man City have got an unbelievable squad compared to us?
Okay, how did Leicester do it? I don't care how you
Man City weren't around like they are now back then.
It doesn't matter, bro. Okay,
After they're in the competition.
Okay, how did Arsenal, after one season of getting all their players, they challenge for the league like this?
They had
And
4
they have a
years
small...
with Arteta.
Yeah, 4 years.
No, but they didn't have those players.
And Liverpool and all these
but
other
Ange
teams
hasn't got those players
last season.
Ange hasn't got the players.
No, but if you compare, no. Let's be
Dietrich,
real. Let's be.
You're digging a hole.
No.
You're digging a hole, man.
No. I'm just no. Let's be fair. If Ange came with the squad from last season, the exact same players, my expectation would not be the same. But if you look at the players he has some quality players for his first season. He has some good players. A good goalie.
Good players.
Dietrich,
We have a lot of bad. We have a lot of shitty players who played.
Look,
Skip.
Dietrich.
The thing is, we don't have a deep squad whatsoever.
Right. We
No,
don't
I
have
agree.
Charlie, that is true, right? But come on, give the recruitment team some credit here.
I know you say one game a week and stuff, but like, if we have any suspensions or any injuries, then look what happens. It's like drop off.
In his first season, give the recruitment team some credit. We've done 17 deals. Right?
I never
you've
said
got,
I didn't give
You've
them
got
credit.
Kane, Lloris, Dyer, Perisic off the wage bill. We brought in, right, Bergvall, Dragusin, and Werner. That's 7. Loans, Roden, Spence, Tanganga, Divine, Phillips, Parrott, Velez, Ndombele, right? There are a few others I'm missing, but Craig has gone as well from the. We've done 17 deals. I'm going to give Lange credit here.
I never.
No, listen. I know we are nowhere near to be. We're not going to win a league. We're nowhere near to be challenging for a league. But with at least 3 or 4 players in the summer booked in, and a pathway for some of our excellent youngsters who I watch. So I know whether they're good or not, but I still don't know if they're good enough for the Premier League, right? But we after this summer, next season, we all say it next season, don't we? But I believe we'll be in a strong position.
I don't think people understand what. No, wait. Can I just say? I don't think people understand what I'm saying. I never said Ange has to win the league. For me, my expectation every season has to be challenging for the title. Do I think it's going to happen?
So you didn't listen to my question, right? My question was, given what we've got, given what Ange is dealing with, after 6 months in the job, to be 4th place in the league, having won only 1 game less, 2 games less than the top 3, Do you not think he's off to a good start as a manager?
No. The only bad start I'm gonna give him is the trophies, the way we went out of the cups.
The
That's
league.
the only.
Dietrich, I'm talking about the league.
I don't
In the
give a
league.
shit about. I don't give a shit
No,
about.
but the question gives a shit about the league, right? In the league.
No, because who gives?
Right. Alex, right?
No, for me, no.
You can't say yes. I get it. All right.
No, it's not about yes. For me, it's just like this same old shit. Like first season is gonna be fourth, next season is gonna be fourth. Like
No, I'm asking about now. No, forget next
No,
season.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed.
Right, Alex, let me ask you the same question. When you look at the league table, right, and you see Spurs are fourth, we've only lost one less game than Arsenal and two less games in the top three. So we've almost won as many games as the top three. We're fourth in the league. Do you think, given what Ange has got after 6 months, he's doing a good job in the league? Do you think he's doing well?
Yeah. Because I didn't have any expectations this season. But I think that's why he's doing well this season, because we have got no expectations this season. I think when we put expectations on it, and we're in a strength position next season, and we have to be better next season. I don't think we're going to struggle. You see what I'm saying? And again, it's about mentality, about winning trophies next season as well. So this is where my issue is at the moment, because I don't think you can get away with these sort of performances next season. Now, I know that we've got our youngsters that are coming through, but he's not using the youngsters now, and they're not going to be ready for next season. I don't think. I think it's too soon for them. And people say that we're playing great football. I don't think we're playing great football. Right, and
who said that?
And I think lots of the rivals are saying that we're playing the best football.
At the moment, we're not playing well.
We're playing the best football, and that's it. I think, in my opinion, I think. Charlie, let me finish. Let me just finish. The first 10 games, I think that was the best that we're going to see out of Tottenham, for me. I think some of the players are looking tired, which is worrying, because if you're going to go for next season and you got more games, that's a bit of a worry for me as well. I think there's certain players that are too comfortable, which again worries me again, because there's no one competing for their place, and that will be problematic next season. So yeah, to answer your question. Yes, he's done well. He has. But we've seen this before, Stelios. You know what I mean? We've seen this before.
100%. 100%. I'm just asking about now. Next season, the future. We're gonna
but this is why I'm saying.
Alex, go back to August, right? I know for me, and I've said many times, I said for me, man, this year, I don't really have expectation. The only expectation I had is I want to find 8th in an identity. 8th in an identity. That's why I said anything extra that we got is like a bonus. It's like almost sound like cracker stick. But anything we got extra would have been okay. All right, I see you're cooking, right? With this squad. With this squad, I said 8th. As the season progressed, I said, okay. And when I hear the neutrals talk about the style of play, because right, this is the identity, I say, okay, imagine this team with actual good plays. These are from the pundits and even other Arsenal guys will say, well, the way Tottenham is playing, right? If you compare with Chelsea, we don't know what kind of ball they're playing. We don't know what kind of ball that United is playing, right? At least we know with these crap players, right? Emerson Royale came in, Ben Davies, right? Dyer, before he left, right? At least we know, okay, the type of football we're playing. The only thing that's missing is, will Daniel Levy, and I always come back to this, will Daniel Levy back this manager and get players, right? Right? I like the movie. I like the script. I just don't like some of the actors.
Mari, it's about will the script be fulfilled?
Right.
That's what. And
you even talked about Kulu, right? And I agree with you. I don't. For me, with Kulu, I want to see us get someone better, right? A better actor than Kulu, a better actor than Basuma, a better actor than Richarlison. a better actor. The only actors that I honestly like on this team as of now is Son, Romero, VDV, Udoji, Porro, and Vicario. Everybody else, we can make an improvement. That's why I said on last night's show, and I said weeks ago, minimum, we need 6 to 7 players for me to say, oh, we got a squad. 6 to 7 minimum.
Good players.
And so what Andrew's doing, and we still need 6 or 7 minimum, I would say, okay, he's doing good. He's doing good because we need a lot more players. And that's why the pundits are saying, wow, this is remarkable that he has written the script of this movie, but we don't have all the actors.
Charlie, I want to come to you on this, right? I was told in December, January will tell us whether or not Levy means business. But what happened in January was we didn't really have a good window, but because all the other clubs were unable to do anything, it made us look great. So by consequence of FFP, Levy looked like a don because everyone else couldn't act. But we didn't have the window we needed, right? So now the can's been kicked down the road. And now the conversation is this summer will tell us if Levy means business. Charlie, is this, and then I want to come to Adrian straight after because I want to get Adrian's take on this. Charlie, you first, Adrian next. Charlie, is this summer genuinely make or break for Levy and us doing something different that we've not seen before in the transfer window? Because we had a really good summer, but can we have 2 back-to-back? Is it make or break time, Charlie, for you and the way fans will look at it?
Well, it's an interesting question because when we say make or break, I mean, we've said this before, haven't we? We all said, like, you know, under Conte, you know, that summer after we got 4th and stuff, we said that was make or break, you know, nothing good happened that window and then the season was terrible. I think, from my opinion, every summer transfer window is make or break because I'm sorry, if we as a club want to actually win trophies and compete for trophies, then every transfer window has to be good. You can't just have one good transfer window and then do nothing for like 10 years. You have to consistently bring in the players the manager wants and good quality players every window, not just 1 or 2. So for me, look, even if we have a good summer transfer window, it's still not enough in the sense for the long-term view. We need to have again and again and again and again, you know, continuous good transfer windows. So yeah, it's a difficult question. I think in terms of January, you're right. Like the other clubs, they literally couldn't do anything because of like FFP and stuff. So yeah, I think it made things look a bit better than it was, you know, because we're the only club in the top 6 or whatever that actually spent proper money and stuff when we got Dragusin. The thing with the January transfer window is I think, you know, we can all say what we want about Timo and stuff. You know, I'm not going to get into that, but I think we needed to bring in a proper wide player, you know, or a forward or a number 9, you know, that can actually cement a place in the team, that can actually contribute goals, you know, because I've said this 100 times on multiple shows, like modern wingers or wide players have to get goals. You know, Son's the biggest example. Look at the standard that he set, you know, getting 20 goals, you know, 15 to 20 goals a season, you know. Those are the standards for the top modern wide players. I think if we're going to progress, we need to get players like that. So for me in January, look, Dragusin I think is a good signing. I've already spoken about him for Genoa. He was a top player. But I think we needed a wide player, you know, or a number 9. And I think we needed a midfielder as well because
we've got Timo, Charlie. We've got Timo.
We did get Timo, but I mean a permanent player that can actually contribute consistent output that will actually take us forward. You know, Timo, we can say what we want.
Look,
like for me, it's a stopgap because
I
again,
just
it's
don't
another
understand.
one of these. It's another one of these loans with an option to buy. So
look at City,
yeah.
for example. They just bought like a phenomenal winger from Girona. Savinho, and we can't even do the same thing, and he wasn't even that expensive.
What I'm
He's
saying,
part of the City group, though, isn't he? He's part of their group.
He is,
Yeah, you can go and outbid.
what I'm saying is that it's make or break every transfer window, whether it's
But this one in
January or
particular,
summer.
Charlie, do you think this time it's different because of the way of what's happened in the past and being back? Because if we take a backward step from, let's say we finish top 4, for example, let's just hypothetically say that, and then we take a backward step and we end up again winning no trophies and finishing 7th, are fans going to tolerate that?
Yeah, because we played.
Well, I mean, fans seem to tolerate what happened last season, which was nothing short of a shambles. So who knows?
No, but if it's linked to Levy not backing Ange properly in the summer, though, if it links to that.
But the question about that still is: are they going to see that side of it, or are the majority of people going to see the manager this, which is just rubbish? You know, just constantly putting it all on the manager. You know, people were ripping into Conte. I was one of the few people left that actually stood.
But he wasn't back though, right? He wasn't.
He wasn't, which is why I stood by him. One of the main reasons, and also the fact that he's not anywhere near as bad as what people.
Yeah, but say. Charlie, that's when the Levy out started as well, though. So fans did turn.
To answer your question, the only thing I would like to see from Ange, right? The question, you know, we talked about substitutions. I was really upset with the Carabao Cup and his starting lineup and whatsoever. My only thing I want to see from, because then I won't take no excuses in regards to Ange, is if the summer window comes up and we sign players that are honestly like if we sign another Brennan Johnson over the summer, and he goes on an interview or TV, whatever, it says, "Oh, I wanted that player," I am going to lose my head. I'm going to be upset, because then I'm like, you know what? You're being fake, mate. You're being fake, because in no way, unless I question your judgment of talent, or you're not being real. All right, people can talk about Conte all they want. At least Conte was real. Conte's like,
exactly.
You gave me crap. Jose Mourinho, he said you gave me crap, and we know from history that Daniel Levy doesn't want to pay for quality. And I'm not talking about extraordinary, outrageous prices. I'm talking about people who are level like Kudus, right? 35 mil. Diaby, right? Cheaper than Johnson, right? You know, quality like that. Or a Tapsoba who put Kane in the back pocket, right? Because I saw earlier this week, we're so glad we got VDV and not Tapsoba. And I'm like, why do we get both? Because Tapsoba's balling. A ball today. Why can we have both? Yeah. Why can we have both Tapsoba and BDV?
Murray, what about you mentioned Diaby there?
Guys, I want to bring Adrian in.
What about
your point,
Doku?
Charlie? Then I want to get Adrian.
What about Doku before he went to City? I was screaming for Doku. I wanted Doku, and then he went to City. I think if we'd gone in there earlier, we might have got him. If we'd actually bid for him, you know, and wanted him. So, but
our scouting has to be better. Yeah, they did a great job defensively.
For the attacking positions, the scouting has to be
better. For the attack, that's what I was going to say. They did okay in regards to the defense. You know, the midfield, it's still half and half. But in the forward lines, they've been atrocious in scouting players. And I'm watching clubs who are not as big as us, because we're big six, get Diaby, Kudus, seeing these guys, like, come on, man. Like,
let me bring Adrian in. Adrian, is this summer make or break for Levy in the club, in your opinion?
No, because it's still, like when people talk about work in progress, not another project, you know, success is not final, right? You have to keep moving and progressing in all aspects and levels of your football club, right? From the academy upwards, women's teams, all that, right? Well, what do we know? Like, what do we know what Ange wants, right, for the summer, right? What we know for certain, there's been all this talk about Conor Gallagher. I'm not his greatest fan.
Right? I'm telling you.
But we need
Gallagher,
right. So He's not looking for a number 6, and we'll come to numbers in a minute because they piss me off anyway, right? And we know that he also wants a left-sided centre-back. Now, it could be Lloyd Kelly. We might go after an Nketiah or whatever, but he wants that. In the striking positions, there is a dearth of strikers out there. I would love Vlahovic. I think it'd be perfect.
I said it. He's not leaving. He's not leaving.
That's fair enough, Charlie. But I'm just saying I'd love him, right? So you're looking at those sort of players. If you bring him in, what do you need in your squad? Well, you need 11 players, don't you, on the field? You need 5 subs of quality, gives you 16, a couple of others for injuries. That gives you 18. Now, that means even Man City haven't got more than that. That means you've got 7 positions you can fill. You can actually make a pathway for your academy players, which is what I would like to see. I would like to see Parrott, I've said it earlier, and Veliz brought into the squad in the season, plus bringing in a top-class striker if they do the data analytics and get him, whether it's Vlahovic, whether it's Jimenez, right, or whatever. But I want to see Veliz given. I don't see, the manager has to gamble, doesn't he, on the game time? But if the Veliz comes in or Parrott comes in, do they come in, get substitute appearances in the last 15, 20 minutes? Then if they look okay, you give them half hour in the next game. Then you give them half in the next game, and do that, right? We're doing okay. Our bench, to me, isn't as good as people make it out. It looked pretty good today, but I'd only pick Dragusin, and a couple of others that really improve us. We really need to get in like 3 players, a defender, midfielder, and striker.
I mean, for Adrian, you mentioned midfielders. I think it was you that said it. Kone from Gladbach is a very good shout, actually.
Yeah, Manu Kone is a top player.
Kone, yeah. He's a little bit like Basuma. He's a little bit like Basuma. If I was to compare him to our players, Basuma's probably the most similar type of player.
Edison looks good. There's a 2 wingers, one at Ajax. See, again, I don't mind going for Lloyd Kelly. I don't know if Lloyd Kelly's... Yeah, I don't know if Lloyd Kelly's... Hold on, wait, I haven't finished what I said, Charlie, right? Lloyd Kelly's at the end of his contract, and so is Adarabioyo at Fulham. Now, but Adarabioyo, I think, is right-footed anyway, whereas Lloyd Kelly's left-footed. So I don't know...
Lloyd Kelly. This is average.
I don't know. I don't know the player, so
I've seen him play for Bournemouth. He's average.
I don't know. Right? Okay.
I'm with Charlie here. Lloyd Kelly.
That's fair enough. I trust your judgment. Adarabioyo, he come through the Man City, didn't he? Academy.
Adarabioyo's okay. Again, I don't think he sets the world alight, but he's probably better than Lloyd Kelly.
Would be a better option. But
Nketiah's decent, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Tapsoba's balling out if you're looking at Leverkusen defenders.
We also really need, obviously Reguilon's days are numbered, who's on loan as well. Sessegnon, if he gets a chance this season, he's in the last dog saloon, isn't he, as well? So he might be gone. So then you could go after, say, a Cambiasso at Juventus on the left.
Cambiasso, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, right? I wouldn't mind a player.
Adrian, hold on.
Even Dumfries, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't even mind Wilfred Singer.
The question is, Adrian.
No, hold on, still. Adrian, you're talking about left backs. I'll give you a name. I think I saw a report. I don't know if it's true. It could be garbage in terms of truth. But we've been linked with Bologna left back Calafiori, who I think is quite decent. I've seen him play.
He's a centre back as well, I think.
Calafiori, yeah, he can play both, and I think he hasn't been called up to Italy yet. But he's, from what I've seen of him, he's decent, and I think as a backup left back, he wouldn't be that bad.
Charlie, he's not good. He's not good. I watched him play.
I think he's decent, Calafiori.
But he's the same guy that the ball boy. Do you remember, like when he threw a ball in a Roma player? It was him.
Yeah, I know.
And he started crying. That was this guy.
Once the team do the data analytics, Rob Kenzie will have to go and have a look at him because he's.
I don't think he's too bad. I'm not saying he's amazing. I don't think he's that.
Yeah. Bad. So we know what we know is if Angel likes Conor Gallagher and he gets him, fine.
I don't want Gallagher though. Nah.
I don't want him.
Overrated. Right? He's shit. I'm telling you, he's overrated.
And probably because he's homegrown, I just want quality in and I'd take Coney at pinch.
Kone. Right? Or I'll tell you another name is Palacios of Leverkusen. Good player.
So, Adrian, is it make or break?
Sorry about you. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because, look, Ange's had, what, 24 games? And people on his case.
Okay, so if it's not make or break for Levy and the club this summer, then what needs to happen next season as an improvement for you to be satisfied?
Well, we need to bring in quality players still, don't we?
No.
We need to bring in at least we need to bring in at least 3 in the summer. At least 3. And we have got, look, we was at a stage where like we could spend £440 million, which we haven't got, on players through, profit is sustainable rules and FFP, right? Obviously, we ain't got that money to spend, but now we've done a bit of dealing in the transfer market. I read a report said we could spend 276 mil. So say 250, right? If we've got that money to spend. It's not saying we can spend it, but if we've got it, right? Now, there will be sales. Leeds will buy Roden. We get 10 million, 5 million, whatever, to add to whatever kitty we've got. And I would expect I'm expecting us to get 3 players in the summer. 3. And I expect one to be a midfielder, another defender, even though I like Ashley Phillips and Dorrington. I think Dorrington's a better pass. I think it's better guality.
Adrian, sorry.
Enrique
guys, 1 minute. Right, guys, question to all of you then. If this summer is make or break, then that's it. I know where you stand as a fan, right? If Levy doesn't deliver again this summer for you, I'm done. I'm not hanging out for another 5 years hoping you do it. If the answer is no, it's not make or break, then what I need to understand from you then is, what is your expectations for the team going into next season? Because, Adrian, you're saying we need at least 3 players. We might get top 4. Let me just bring in Danny. Big up Danny the Bun. We might get top 4, right? With the squad we've got this year, only playing 41 games, 38 league games and 3 cup games. Next season, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europe, and the league. We're looking at 50, 55. If we do well, 60 games. So 3 players doesn't even maintain us. If we want to maintain where we're at with all these extra games and try and go forward, as in finish higher up the league or win a trophy, we need 7 or 8 players, which is what I've been saying. So, Adrian, and then everyone.
I disagree. I don't think we need 7 or 8. I say it because, like, if you say
we might
pay 11 and 5 main subs, that's 16 with a couple of extras, injuries and all that. You're talking about 18. I don't think we need. I mean, I'd like more, right? I would like more, but realistically, how many quality players do you think you're going to bring in, and how much money do you think we're going to spend on them? Now, I think we could spend 100, 120
how
mil.
do you play an extra 15 games with only 3 players, Adrian? Realistically, how? Sorry. Realistically, how do you play potentially an extra 15 to 20 games next season with only 3 new signings? If all we are is a top 4 team and we crashed out of all the cups.
Well, you looked at the teams. You looked at the bench when we had Sonny on the bench, right?
Yeah, but we're going to have injuries again, Adrian, next season. We're going to have injuries again. It happens to every team, right?
Well, yeah, this is one. That's one way of looking at it. But I mean, like you see the bench today. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great still, but it looked stronger, right? Now, if you put 3 quality players to add to the squad on that bench, right? Suddenly we've got. I think we've got a 16 then. Then I think we've got a 16, 11 on the pitch and 5 on the bench. Wasn't injuries and suspensions still? That's in the lap of the gods. Hopefully,
but what happened to Pochettino with 16? We fell short.
Hold on.
I said it, Adrian. Right? You needed
hold on, right?
You needed proper deep squad.
Hold on. Give me with a stat. We went 518 days without bringing a signing in for Pochettino. So I'm not going to have him, cussed off because Levy's Levy's was more concentrated in the stadium than he was in the team.
1 minute, you moved the goalpost. I'm a Poch fan. I defend Poch.
Right. So am I.
My question is, if you're saying we've got a 16, Poch had a 16, look what happened. we couldn't do well in the cups because we couldn't squad rotate.
Did he? Because when you didn't have Rose and Walker, and he'd switch them each game, who did you have as fullbacks to bring in?
All right then, someone
Trippier.
else. Someone else.
Trippier.
Name me a team with just a good 16 that wins silverware at this level.
Nottingham Forest won the European Cup with 14 playing squads.
Yeah, it's different times though.
Yeah, definitely.
Completely different.
Adrian, you're going back to the same time that the cabinet in the background was made.
I know.
Danny, listen, you wanted to jump on, pick up the pun. Been ages since we've had Danny on the show. How's it, Danny? How's Holland treating you?
Danny's
how's Amsterdam?
Dietrich is a bitch first.
And is Eredivisie shit the way Charlie says?
What's that say? Say that again.
Charlie said Eredivisie shit.
Yeah,
it's not. The standard's not as good as it used to be, but it's we haven't been watching it as much this season because Ajax have been in turmoil, right? They haven't been, but since they've got their new manager, they've started to play a lot better. But yeah, look, no, I just wanted to join.
They're about fifth, aren't they, Dan?
What's that?
They're about fifth, aren't they?
Something like that, yeah. So, but they were like near the bottom of, they're pretty much bottom of the table.
They're a shambles, Ajax.
Yeah, it's because it's since for Ajax anyway. They just went downhill as soon as Overmars left. When they sacked Overmars, that was it. Yeah. He was so good for them, but he obviously was an idiot.
And
Parrot's doing well, Dan.
Yeah.
Parrot's doing well.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, but people keep saying about Parrot, but he's not going to be. I don't think he's ever going to do anything at Tottenham. If I'm honest,
fair enough. We won't know, will we? Unless he's tried, we won't know. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think today, right, for the whole game, I think I haven't actually heard the whole show. I came in a bit late. I was out earlier, but when we were at the Amsterdam Spurs pub today, and not many Spurs fans were in there today, but the whole game, it was like most people were just kind of chatting, to be honest, because it was such a kind of boring game. It wasn't that great, to be honest. It was, if I'm being honest, we were very, very lucky to get that last minute goal.
Yeah.
And we didn't really deserve the win, but we played shit and we still got 3 points. So it's something, right? It's pretty good that we managed to somehow get 3 points.
We played brilliant against Aston Villa and we got nothing. And we played well against.
No, I remember I was at the game. Yeah, I was actually at that Villa game. That game we should have been 4-0 up in the first 40 minutes. That game, but the thing is, I think what people like Dietrich. I was listening to you. Obviously, you're deluded as fucking anything. But I mean, Dietrich, right? You saying about us competing second. I mean, come on, honestly, if you actually look at it, look at where we've been in the last 4 years, right? We haven't really been that great, apart from that anomaly season with Conte, and probably Conte would have finished fourth if he didn't say what he said and get sacked. But even saying that, Harry Kane was carrying that team, right? He was carrying that team. So to lose Harry Kane, right, is absolutely massive, right? He's your favorite player. To lose him and still kind of be in and around that sort of top four right now in Ange's first season in the Premier League, when you're trying to make a team rather than rely on one singular player. I know, obviously, in certain games this season, it has been noticed that we seem to still rely on certain players, right? But that's because the squad's still not deep enough, right? We need a far deeper squad if we're ever going to see how Ange is really what he's capable of. I said it from the very beginning. I honestly believe if Ange is given what he wants and he has a squad of 22 players that he believes can go and challenge, I think we'll see something that we haven't seen for Spurs in a long time. Right? For me, that's silverware. That's what I believe, and I've always stood by that. But obviously, we all know we don't know like if that's ever going to happen, right? We don't know if the board are gonna, because the problem with what we've seen with so many over the last kind of 10 years or so. You'll see him. They'll back the manager a little bit. They'll back him. And then it gets to the point where you need to get to that next level. Right, so now I think they actually are gonna get him majority of the players he wants, but it's whether or not they want to tip the boat over to go and get that extra elite kind of level player to then really push the squad on. but I don't think that will happen. But
Danny, can I ask you a quick question, Danny? Danny, I want to ask you a question. Right? No, let me ask Danny a question. So I've been asking everyone, is it make or break this summer for Levy? And bear in mind, right, Dallas Spurs makes a brilliant point. He says, yes, it is make or break because Klopp is gone next season, meaning that's one less team potentially we have to worry about. So if we get it right this summer, we could maybe do something. So is it make or break this summer, Danny? Or are you with Adrian? No, it's a process. It takes time.
No, I don't think it. If I'm honest, I don't think it's make or break because we've seen this over how many years. Look, I'm telling you now, 1,000,000%, Daniel Levy and the board are not going to look at what everyone else is doing. They're going to look at what their plan is, whatever it is. No one knows what it is apart from the people within the club, right, and the staff. They're going to do what they feel they want to do, right? Whatever their plan is. We heard Lange in the interview the other day, where he was saying the club, they've been planning this from 6 months ago from when Ange came in, right? They set out a plan. Everyone's on the same boat, but let's see how long it lasts until one of them is not on that boat anymore, or it just depends really. And for me, I think it's not make or break because every single Spurs fan at the beginning of the season said it's a free hit season. Not one single Spurs fan was sitting there saying, right, on any social media platform, wherever you spoke to a Spurs fan, not one of them was saying we're going to compete for top 4 this season or try and win a trophy, right? Every single Spurs fan was saying it's a free hit season, right? That was it. No, Dietrich, stop talking shit, right? As you always do, right? That's all you do. You talk shit, right? So I think for me, yeah.
This channel about Jerry Springer on football. I swear to God, Jerry Springer.
It's not a make or break season.
Springer away.
Definitely not. Because look, they've already said, right? You've seen, everyone's seen the reports. Everyone's seen they probably want to target 3 or 4 players in the summer. We've seen the wingers that we've all been linked with, right? We've been linked with Nico Williams, Neto, Rafinha, right? Those are the type of players you need to be targeting, right? Go and get one of those wingers. That, for me, will show me the club are trying to show intent and the belief of what they all want to, like what Ange wants, what Lange wants. For me, that will show that they're trying to follow the you could say process or their plan of what they want to do, right? And that's actually getting young. If they go for say Neto or Nico Williams, they're getting young, very, very good players right in this moment who can only get better, sort of thing, right? So they're the type of players we need to target. So we have to wait and see. We just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, we all know what Levy's like, so we have to wait and see if he changes a little bit or it's just going to be same old shit, really.
Would it surprise you to realise that Rafinha's stats are twice as good as Neto's?
Oh, I know. I've seen Adrian before Richarlison came in. Yeah, when I was still streaming, I did a show on Richarlison against, like when we were linked with both of them, right? Richarlison versus Rafinha. I was in a small camp of people that wanted Rafinha. I said, this guy, if we get him, he will change everything for the way we play.
He would as well. He would.
And the thing is,
Adrian, can I ask you, is Rafinha's stats better than Neto because Neto's playing in a harder league?
Right.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that style, but I know that although the young kid at Barcelona has been taking some of his game time, his stats,
amazing.
He's far more effective. He's less injury prone than Neto, and I like Neto. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I love the choice of the two. I'm going for Rafinha every time.
The only thing is,
this is what football's in the mud because we're talking about stats again. We're playing FIFA again. Thank you very much. Well done. Big up, Danny. By the way, big up, Danny. I'm not saying you right now, yeah, but I'm feeling about stats. The only stat that matters: how many trophies have we won? 0. Absolutely 0. I'm done with this trying to be nice about it anymore. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done with this trying to be nice about this now. I'm not doing this stats thing anymore. I am not a stat guy anymore. I know what I'm seeing on the pitch. Yeah, and that's why people respect Mr. Box Officer, because he goes on what he sees on the pitch. And by the way, the same guy that is a pitch that sees things on the pitch, most of the stats agree with me most of the time. I don't even look at it. So look what that says to me. That's it. That's all I need to say. And that's it. Back to you, Stelios. I'm done.
Alex, how bang average? How bang average was it?
You know, we were talking about two players, and I don't even know what. Alex, I love you. You know that. But I don't even know what the fuck you were saying, to be honest.
Danny, he's talking about how bang average.
I just like Alex. I just don't agree with him.
You know, look, just a quick one on Neto, right? For me, Neto is out of the wingers that we've been linked with. He is my favorite player. I've wanted Neto the moment I saw him. Right? For me, he's the best out of all of them in ability. He's best on both. He's 2-footed. He's a workhorse, right? His stamina is ridiculous.
And he can play on the left and on the right.
He can play both. And the thing with Neto is he plays just as good as he does on the right as he does on the left, right? Which is why I like him, because he's versatile. But the biggest problem with Neto, again, is his injuries. If you look at his injuries over the last 4 years, he's basically been on the bench for like over a season and a half, like nearly 2 seasons, right?
So
his injury record, no, he's like a Lamella. He's like a Lamella in his injuries. He's that injury prone. Like if he goes through the rest of the season not injured, right? Okay, we'll see what happens, and then maybe. But I'm telling you now, if he goes the rest of the season and he keeps getting goals, assists, whatever he's doing, Man City are gonna try snap him up. Arsenal or Man United. One of those teams are going to try and get. Everyone's going to want him. And
and that's
I know, but he's a youngster still, right? He's a youngster, so they're going to go for someone who's more ready, right, as well. Man City always plan for the future.
Have you seen Cevicho? Girona are top of La Liga. He's been tearing it up.
Yeah, well, maybe
I think we're going to go for youngsters. I've got to be honest, Danny. I think you make a good point about Neto.
See you guys.
Charlie, listen, cheers, mate.
Nice to see you, Charlie.
I just need to say something. I think you make a good point about. I think you make a good point about Neto. I would like Neto because I like Neto, but I think you make a very good point that his injuries are going to be a problem, right? And I think
that's why, Alex. That's why I don't think Tottenham will go for him, and not just because of the injury record, right? I also think because I think there's going to be a lot more interest in someone like him. If he can stay injury clear until the end of the season,
Danny, the thing is, like Barcelona is skin. I think we could get Rafinha.
I think it'll be, personally, if we're going to go for one of those wingers, I think it will be between Nico Williams, because I heard, I was reading an article, and I think his new release clause is like 50 million euros, which is about 43 million pounds, right? So if that is true, then 43 million pounds for a player of that ability, right, is a no-brainer. But Rafinha, he'll be probably similar sort of price.
And someone cutting the check came up with Ferran Torres, which is not a bad call either, actually.
It's not, no.
What's
he's a good player, but I don't think Ferran Torres is what we need in this system, because we need someone who is rapid, who's quick, but is good one-on-ones. We need someone who can beat a man one-on-one. Nico Williams and Rafinha.
I'm tired of seeing my wingers. I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing the wingers just going inside and not doing anything. I'm tired of them now.
Yes, so am I. So am I, Alex.
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not disrespecting people, but it's just that when I've been seeing this for how many games now at the stadium,
right here.
myself now, I've got to a point now when people's making excuses for these players now. I'm getting fed up with it.
Still hear me?
Guys, do you think he hasn't worked out as a particular player, but do you think João Felix would suit Ange's system?
No.
I would say this guy would fit Ange's system. Because if you believe the reports that Grealish is really, like, for his career, his inner circles, like, you need to leave City. You need to leave City because they're hampering your career. Yeah, you're winning trophies, but you're not.
I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you.
They paid 100 million for him.
Exciting. And it was the only time
they paid 100 million for him.
Adrian, let me finish. If there was ever a time where Daniel Levy will say, okay, I'm going to sign my first 100 mil or close to 100 mil player, right? So the fans can get off my back and show ambition will be Jack Grealish.
I don't think we'll get Jack Grealish, though.
On this team, because...
Yeah, but Mario, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
It will never happen.
It's not going to happen, but I absolutely agree about Grealish at Man City at the moment. No disrespect to him, but for me, he's going nowhere at Man City at the moment, and I'm not having to go at Pep Guardiola. I just think at the but I don't think we've got no chance.
Alex,
that's another conversation for another time.
They've signed Doku, they've signed Savicchio. They're going to get rid of a winger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
they will go.
Because I think for me, I think for me, but I think this is the conversation for another time. But I just think for me, he's a maverick. He's got something about him, and he needs to have his own. He's just limited at Man City. He's limited. He's been limited.
Guys, let me tell you what happened.
Anyway, I don't want to go too much on this.
No, Alex, you're right. Let me tell you.
One thing before you say.
Grealish is not overrated, guys. Don't look at what Pep has done to Grealish.
Can I speak about Jack Grealish? I need to speak on this. Right, listen, let me speak on this. Listen, let me speak on this. I had a player who was so, in my opinion, very, very talented. Spurs came and had a look at him, and they said, yeah, he's good. I said, do you want to take him in on a trial? He went on a trial, and they took him in. After 6 weeks, they said, right, we'll sign him. He got signed. No. He got put into the, before you get signed, they put you into what's called elite development. If you're in elite development, that's the step before you get signed. I went to watch him play, and I was just gobsmacked. And I said to the player, when he came to train with me, I said, why are you playing out of position? He goes, oh, that's where Spurs told me to play. I said, okay. After about 4 or 5 weeks, I said to Spurs, what do you think? And they said, he's not showing us what we saw when we scouted him. We're not seeing it. He's not showing us the star quality that we're looking for. So I went up to him when he's with me, and I said to him, why aren't you playing the way you played with me? And he's a dribbler, right? This boy was a dribbler. And he said, because the coaches at Tottenham told me to do ABC. I said, right. Are you doing what they say, or are you doing what I taught you? And he goes, I'm doing what they say. I said, okay. If you don't do what I taught you, they're not going to sign you. Because the reason they scouted you is because of the things that I taught you. Show them that. And they will sign you. And then once you're in, do what they say. He listened to them. He never got signed. Jack Grealish, I'm telling you, he's a rare talent. Very few players are dribblers anymore. At Villa, he would scare the life out of teams because he's a dribbler. Yeah. He can go at you and beat you. And that's what Alex says when he says Maverick, right? He's a dribbler. He went to Man City, and his first season, he wasn't good. And I had this debate with Sava. And Sava was saying to me, you don't understand Pep, the way he does it. It takes a year. I said, but Sava, he's going to pass the dribbling out of him. I've seen Arsenal do this to players. Pass. That's not Grealish. Because, yeah, but that's what Pep does. Well, then sign a passer. What's happened at Man City is you've taken a dribbler and turned them into a passer. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's got to be able to beat one man. But Grealish can beat 2 or 3 players. It's been coached out of him. They've coached it out of him. So now what you're seeing is you're seeing a player that struggles to get into the Man City squad because he doesn't fit the way they play. But he's not 100% happy deep down. I know he won a treble, but he's not expressing himself. A player like Grealish.
That's why I say Mavericks are taking out the game now. Mavericks have been taken out of the game now because of system.
But at Spurs, the wide players have got freedom. It's up to them to express themselves. Brennan Johnson doesn't express himself. So that's the talent. Timo hasn't got the talent, right? But if you put a player like Grealish out wide in our system and you say, son, get the ball and play. Just play. That is a marriage made in heaven. But can we attract Grealish? I don't know.
You summed it up. Okay, Danny, you speak.
That's why I'm saying he would be the perfect Spurs. I'm listening to this. I'm like, man, if we ever had ambition, we were like in the summer saying, you know what, City, we're finally ready to pay for one play, right? To maybe pass that torch from Kane, like the face of the club. I know Sonny's the face, right? But an English boy, who better than Jack Grealish, who would be perfect English boy?
He will be our next Ginola, our next Gaza. He can be that player. He can. I'm not saying as good as them.
Men and women will be pissing in their pants to have him
getting him
on Spurs. I just said it. Yeah, we'll be jizzing up.
Do you know? I think with someone like Jack Grealish, right? First of all, I think he would definitely fit the way Ange would like to play, because I think, like you said, right, Ange will let him go and play his game, right? Go and play the Grealish game. I think if you actually watched Grealish last season, he was a lot more like his older self when he was at Villa. Like, he obviously improved last season, and he was actually quite crucial to them in their Champions League victory last season, right? He was very crucial to them in a lot. His link up with Haaland as well was brilliant last season. But like this season, there's something, like you said, I think there's something not right with him. I don't know whether it's because of the way he's been coached, whether it's the way his confidence is as well. Whether it's, I don't know, it could even be that maybe his lifestyle, maybe he's become more of a party boy and all this kind of stuff, right? Who knows, right? But I don't think we'll ever sign someone like him because, number one, it would cost way too much money. So either they'd have to wait till Tottenham would be the type of club to wait till his contract runs down to his like final year and then try and make a move. And I don't think Daniel Levy would go and pay something like 70, 80 million for a Jack Grealish, especially when the fact that he could have got him so cheap, but Daniel Levy fucked the deal up himself. I think Daniel Levy's too.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. We've looked at other younger players. I mean, like,
it's almost like the Declan Rice. Arsenal finally paying 100 million for Declan Rice, right? It is now our challenge.
Yeah, you know what it is, Murray? It's not that. It's more about Daniel Levy and his egotistical principles, right? Not, I don't think Daniel Levy would go in and go just because it's out of principle. The fact that it's like me saying, why would I go and pay 100 million for a player when I could have bought him for 15 million pounds, right? That's the way he probably would think, right? He's a money man. He thinks about everything. So he would rather go and get a player that's far less when you can get 2 or 3 players for 100 million than you would go and get just one player. He's not going to do it. We all know he's not going to do that, right? Yeah. It's not in Tottenham's ever in their possibility under Daniel Levy. Maybe if we ever have a rich sheikh or something like that one day, or a owner who wants to spend money, but again, it doesn't always work out. Look at Chelsea, what they've done. So
in fairness to the recruitment team, you know, you could look at like Stanislas Dumba Muzamba at Ajax, who's out of contract at the end of the season, who's a very tricky winger. Don't know if he would do it in the Premier League. And also, like, I think FC Copenhagen, you've got Rooney Badaji, another player. I mean, these are ones which clubs are looking at all over Europe.
We've already but Grealish, Elise, Neto, they're proven Premier League. Ivan Toney.
I want Rafinha. I want him.
Yeah, he's proven the Premier League.
And I want Vlahovic. And I want Vlahovic as well. That if you give me my transfer window in the summer, those 2 players,
I don't think we'll get one of it.
I would take Chiesa. Chiesa would be my dream right winger.
Chiesa would be my dream right winger, but again, he's like Lamella with injuries. He's so injury prone.
He's one of those players that would never leave Italy as well. He's one of those players that would never leave Italy.
No, he said he wants to leave. He wouldn't mind leaving.
What, Italy? Italian football?
Yeah, he wouldn't mind. But everyone wants to play in the Prem.
My dream signings, I gotta go. My dream signings that I would want that is not outrageous, right? Would be would be Polina, Joe Polina.
Oh yeah, Polina.
Olise. Then go to the MLS and get Thiago Almada as a backup, or someone to challenge Madison before City does it, and either get a striker, Jimenez, or get Williams in the wing. I think that's not reasonable. All in maybe the Daniel Levy range.
No, Danny, if I'm not mistaken, Jimenez is not having the best season, right?
No, Adam, go look up Thiago Almada.
Jimenez.
Right, just like Almiron when Newcastle signed him, like he is very young player. He's balling for Argentina. He's won the World Cup. He was on the team. Thiago Almada is the truth. Who plays for Atlanta United. The kid could score. He can assist. He's legit, and he will not cost that much. He'll cost like 8 mil, 10 mil, right? To quality for a good good price. You just saw Valentin Barco go to Brighton for 8 mil from my Boca Juniors. He is going to be world class, like not world class. Okay, he's going to be great. And they just signed Ekavechi, who's 17 years old. So if we want to sign someone who's good, who's 22 years old, right now off and running, Thiago Almada is a under the radar signing. I will get Olise, Polina, and either a winger Williams or Jimenez, and that would make me.
Do you know? Yeah, I want to ask you guys a question, all of you, what you think, right? In terms of realistically, first question is: how many players do you think we will bring in the summer? How many players do you think will move in the summer? And then who? Who would you think we're going to try and go for, bring in? Who do you think we're going to try and get rid of?
We always bring 7. I don't know why. It's always 7 every summer. 7 players.
I don't think. I think we're going to bring in 4 or 5 first team players, stroke quality bench players, and then probably 2 kind of young players, more wonder kids, generational talent, whatever you want to call them.
Do you know what? Still, I think we'll bring in 4 or 5, but I think 3 of them will be first team, and 1 or 2 will be youngsters. I think that Rooney kid, I think they might go for him in the summer. I actually think they're going to try and go for him, but it depends on how much the club wants for him.
I'm worried we're going to sign Timo. I'm really worried we're going to sign Timo.
No, we're going to sign him.
Rooney
Rooney
would cost money. Standing aside Dumbo Muzamba from Ajax is at the end of his contract would cost nothing. So we know what Levy's like. Lloyd Kelly would cost nothing. We're going for a left centre back. It's just
I don't think Lloyd Kelly's good enough. He's not good
enough.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I can't comment because I haven't really seen a lot of him. So, I'm not going to comment on him.
Well, I'd rather Tosin. I'd rather them go back in for Tosin because unless he signs a contract with Fulham.
Yeah, 6'5", right footed, so isn't he?
But even Tosin is not
good. You want a left-footed centre back?
Yeah, but I know, but Tosin's better than
How
Kelly.
about we just break the bank on Todibo? Just go buy a proper centre back.
I don't think Todibos is good as people say he is.
No, he's amazing, bro. He's amazing.
Did you see?
I saw Tapsoba today looked good. Yeah,
Tapsoba has been balling, and you got fans saying, "Oh, we got VDV," and I'm like, which I like VDV, but I said, man, we could have signed both. Can you imagine we get both?
We're not going to go and sign another 50, 60, 70 million pounds.
I think for me at the moment, I think the way that it's going at the moment, I think we need to get more youngsters in at the moment. I've got the potential to do something right now. I think that's what I'm looking at the moment. In the summer, I think. I don't think we're going to do anything that is going to get everyone's eyes popping out. I'll say that right now. I think I think Andrew will be happy with that. Really, for me, the nervousness for me at the moment, if we do get Champions League football, I think the expectation is going to go up there, and I don't think Tottenham Hotspur will be able to match it. And I think for me, this is what my argument's been the last since the beginning. Well, last start of the year is that can Tottenham Hotspur be better than they are this season? And I don't think there will be. I think there are certain signings that are doing really well at the moment. Like you've got I'm sorry, but this is what I've been feeling for a long time. So I don't really care what anybody thinks. And the point I'm saying is that I say about Van der Ven. Now everybody knows what he's like now, right? He's going to get injuries. I'm still questioning marks on Romero, right? I think Richarlison needs to step up. Right, and start being the defender. I agree. We need another defender in. The defender from Fulham probably might be good as well. Udogie is going to be. He's going to have to be better. Poro. A lot of the players need to be better. And worry for me is at the moment there's too much of this backup rhetoric. It needs to stop. If we're gonna do, if we're gonna have to be, if we have to do better next season, we've got to stop this term of backup. That's why I say Emerson, bye. I'm sorry. If you're a backup, bye. Yeah, because you're not competing, right? And these players need competing. Yeah,
I think we're
this is
gonna
why
settle
I'm
next year.
fed up of people apologizing for people like Richarlison and Emerson, right? If you're gonna be good, you got to be good. Yeah, because that's what top teams do, right? And I remind what people said, what players say when they leave this club and go to top clubs. Yeah, the mentality at this club is different to at Tottenham. Yeah, and we need to stop that rhetoric. We've got to stop that rhetoric, and that's it for me, right? And that's what every signing should be doing at the moment, even our youngsters.
But you just
Yeah,
said no.
because it's not good enough to have a good year. And this is not just for Tottenham. This is not just for Tottenham. This is for other teams as well. The only team that's actually got the standard is Man City. And I don't want to hear, oh, we can't compete with Man City anymore. Because if you want to be the big team, you've got to start competing with Man City. I'm sorry, especially when we're calling ourselves FFP Kings. FFP Kings. I'm sorry, if you're going to say FFP Kings, I want championships then. I don't need trophies then with that, by the way. I don't want to hear this rubbish about FFP Kings because I don't get no benefits from that. I don't see Danny getting any benefits on that. I don't see Stelos getting any benefits on that. I don't see Adrian getting any benefits on that. All I'm seeing is that, we can be proud that we got run our club well. Okay, well, I need trophies for that to say that, and that's it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, though, if we're going to say we're FFP Kings, if we don't have trophies in the next couple of years and these players are doing better, where they're going to go? Oh, yeah, they're going to go somewhere else, aren't they? They're going to go somewhere else where they're going to win trophies. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that.
So, yeah, well, this is the point. This is the point I'm making. This is the point I'm making. I'm tired of this. Adrian, if we're going to start talking about our history, saying that, we want the back to the 80s and everything else, when we were winning trophies and we're playing good football, and we're going back to making ourselves decent, we need to start lifting up our standards.
To the now.
And the thing is, the thing that sums it up perfectly before anybody else starts interrupting Mr. the main event speaking again, right? The fact is, Postecoglou is saying the same thing I'm saying. And that's it.
Left back,
so I'm sorry. And I don't even like the bloke. Like I said before. So I'm sorry. You can talk over me how much you want. People can talk over me how much you want. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. And that's it. Back to you, Stelios. I'm done. If you don't know, get to know.
I think we'll get 3 in the summer. Three squad members in the summer. Forget the youngsters. Right? But we need a left back, right back. We need a left centre back. We need a midfielder. We need a striker and a winger. That's 6. Stell says 8 or 9 or 10. I forget what you said, Stell, actually, mate. You can correct me.
I think we need 7 or 8 players.
7. I think we need 6. I think with the money we've got, we might go for 3 quality players in summer. We'll still be short, right? The squad will be improved, which I think will increase their chance of silverware. Would I be happy with the League Cup and FA Cup? And I've experienced Spurs winning 14 of our 17 trophies in my years. I'm 69, right? Would I be satisfied with that? No, I wouldn't. I want a league title. I want a Champions League. That's what I would see before I pop my place.
Okay, we are hovering in 4th place with only playing 41 games, and we crushed out of the cups in the first round because we couldn't hack it. Right, the squad wasn't good enough. We rotated against Fulham, squad couldn't hack it. Against Man City, we weren't good enough. If you add 3 players to the squad, good players, but you also add, let's say, 4 Carabao Cup games, 4 FA Cup games, that takes us to 49 games. Then you add, let's say, 8, 9 European games. We're roughly at 60 games next season. We are hovering in 4th with no cups, no Europe. If you add 4 competitions, 20 more games, 3 players, we're going to go backwards. We can't handle it. This is what I'm saying. If we're serious about maintaining where we are and trying to win a trophy, I think we need 7 or 8 players, good players. I'm being serious Because
have you no faith in their academy?
Season,
have you no faith in their academy?
The club doesn't. I do. The club doesn't.
Sorry, but when people say about the academy, do you see anybody coming from the academy? Do you see anybody from the academy, Adrian? Do you see anybody from the academy at the moment?
Yeah,
they're all on loan.
Yeah, I do.
They're all on loan.
Those games.
All on loan, though. But if you're telling me this is, but Adrian, you're telling me all this stuff about these youngsters. They're all on loan. That just tells you everything to do about our youngsters.
There's a difference, Alex. There's a difference, and Stell will know, right?
When
you get an academy player to a certain level, right, then you have the decision to make, right? He has to either be integrated and trained with the first team squad, or if we're talking about the under 21s here, not the younger ones, or you send that player out on loan. Now, normally you would send the player out loan. The reason you do that is for him to get that sort of experience, right? And then come back, like Parrott's done very well at Excelsior, 7 goals, 3 assists in 15 games, blah, 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 right? Now, I don't know if Parrott is going to turn out. I mean, Kane had loads of loans and he wasn't that good. Didn't look that impressive. We were going to sell him for about 30 odd grand to Leicester or something like that one time, right? He come back. So I want to see Parrott. Well, Veliz has gone out on loan. I want to see them both back in the first team squad next season. I want to see Donnelly go out on loan. He's sat on the bench. He needs to go out on loan, Donnelly. He's looked very impressive, got great stats. The likes of Mikey Moore, Tyler Hall, and all that, they're too young. They're too young to even think about at this moment, right? And so they look really good prospects, but they're too young, right? So I want to see Parrott in there, and then perhaps they'll get 15 minutes as off the sub, 30 minutes if they do good, maybe get half. And who knows? You hope that one of them will kick on. I've got more optimism with Velez, what I've seen of him on the videos, because he's got something about him. Do I know a little bit? I ain't got a clue whether he'll do well or not. I don't know, right? But I want them brought in. When you're talking about you've got 11 in your team players, and people, it's not a first 11. It should be a first 16. Because you're talking about 11 and 5 subs, and you could add 2 to that and say an 18. So you should have a first 18. Is what you should have.
Adrian,
then the 7,
Adrian,
the other 7 that make up the 25.
All right, let's test your theory, right? Let's look at just this season without Europe and without being in the cups. When we got hit with injuries and suspensions, how many first team players were we down by?
Quite a lot.
Roughly.
If you're talking first team squad, well, if you talk, I mean, I don't fully understand the question. If we were weakened severely.
Yeah, but how?
Because we had players we thought.
No. You're answering a different question.
Okay.
How many players were we down by from the first team when things got tough for us? How many could we not use due to injury and suspension at the same time?
Well, Bentancur was out. Basuma has had 3 suspensions. He was out, right? Maddison was injured. That's 3. Oh, no one can deny they're not important members of the squad.
Yeah. Van der Ven.
Van der Ven got the hamstring problem.
Yeah.
Romero was banned at one time as well. That's 5.
Son AFCON, Basuma AFCON. Right. So let's be nice.
And it's unfortunate that Basuma got a load of stick because he's a good. He is a good player.
Adrian, the question is how many?
His last suspension coincided with him going away.
Adrian, the question is how many? Right. Let's just say 5. Let's go with 5. Okay. So 5 minus from 16 equals 11. So now you're down to a starting 11. So just having 16, if we have a similar problem next season, we've just got a starting 11. Now we've got nothing to come off the bench. Can you see why I'm saying we need 7 or 8 players?
And even if you had, and you try to replace them with Højbjerg and Skip, well, it's all right when one of them has been in the team.
Yes, so why do you say we only need 3 players when I'm saying we need 8?
No, I'm saying 5 or 6. That's what I'm saying we need. But I said we'll probably get 3 in. We might get more in.
Right. No. Sorry, my mistake. I thought you said we need 3. So you think we need more, but you don't think we'll get that many. All right, okay,
No,
sorry, my misunderstanding.
Look, I think we need quality left back, right back, left centre back, midfield, wide player and striker, 6. But I think we'll get 3. If we're talking about going after 3 quality players, I don't think we'll have more money enough to get 3. Even if we sell Roden, Leeds will buy Roden, right?
But why don't we have the money with the FFP Kings, with the profit sustainability champions? We've got 400 million we can spend.
We can spend 250 million, right? Because we've done deals since we were in a position where we could spend 440 million without breaking the profit sustainability.
Yeah, but hold on. But Adrian, hold on.
Cash,
no, 1 minute.
We haven't got that in cash.
This is where fans drive me mad, right? If you hedge your bets, right? If you have 2 players that cost you 10 million, like a Pape Sarr, right? 2, so that's 20 million. Then you have 3 players that cost you 40 million or 35 million. Now we've done about what? 120, 130 million. Now go and buy 2 50, 60 million players. Why can't we do that? Why can't we have 2 expensive, 3 middle of the range, like Kulu price, and then 2 10 millions or 5 millions? Why can't we do that?
We can.
The money's there. The money is there. I think. What's the point of the data analytics team and Lange and Paratici and McKenzie? What's the point of them if they can't use the money wisely?
Well, they've Lange, if you believe the video link, which I think I sent you anyway. If it wasn't just a PR exercise, and rather than like something they're out to reassure us fans that the recruitment team are going the right way about things, and we've had to shift a lot of deadwood out. And I'm going to take my hat to the recruitment team because I think they've done well with the loans and people that have gone out and all that. Now we'll see what our true finances are. I don't know. The club have shown a bit of transparency with the Lange interview, right? Now we need to see like if they're going to put the money where their mouth is in the summer transfer window, right? And we're in a great. We've got such a good position to be in because we can spend where other clubs can't. They can't. They're still constrained by those rules. And like we've seen that the transfer market is also, you'll get good deals because the transfer market has gone through a period of deflation. Because I mean, European clubs depended on the Premier League spending money, like to sort of like to boost them, right?
Yeah,
and now
I just don't want to hear
Juventus are skint. Barcelona, one of the richest clubs in the world. Yeah, they're skint. They've sold off half their merchandising rights, TV rights because they're skint because they've overspent for years and paying 500.
Adrian, you're backing me up now, right? Where you said we're not going to spend that money. My answer is why not? So not only do we have the money, not only have we got a recruitment team that can make that money work, you're now further adding a reason by saying they're all skint. So they're there for the taking. We can pick them off.
Yeah.
So they are not signed 7 or 8. Yeah. So I don't want to hear from any.
What's happening? Word I received was what's happening is Spurs have never had so many. Now before they wouldn't be coming to Tottenham, they're going to Man City, Liverpool, and all these other clubs. Agents are now. I mean, all football clubs still. I mean, you know this, right?
But I don't want to hear from fans. We ain't got the money. I don't want to hear we can't spend money. I don't want to hear this. That there is no legs to stand on from anyone to say to me, we're not going to spend the money. There's no that for me, that ship sailed this season.
That's true. But the question is the amount of money we've got to spend. I don't think it's a fortune. It might be with sales, it might be 100, 120 mil, but that will go a long way in the summer.
All we've got is 120 million.
Sorry?
You're saying all we can afford is 120 million. Arsenal spent 100 on one player, and we're the FFP Kings. How is this possible?
Well, because we're the reason we're FFP Kings because you are not penalised through profit sustainable rules or FFP rules when you spend money on your infrastructure and all that. But the rules are sort of confined to wages you pay for players, transfer fees, and that's it. They're not like, you're not constrained in other areas.
We
So
are the richest. We are the richest club in London. We can spend more on.
It all boils down to how much money at the end of the day you have got to spend still. It's not saying you've got this. How much money? Right. I don't know. Right. Alex won't know, and you won't know. Right. Okay. We get to April. We get all the new season ticket sales in. A lot of clubs in Europe.
Adrian, if we qualify for Champions League, no, 1 minute. If we qualify for Champions League next season, just by qualification without kicking a ball, we get 60 million. Right. 60 million. So I don't want to hear 120 mil. I don't want to hear this.
Right.
We're the richest club in London, 8th richest in the world. We could spend up to 300 million before we break FFP rules, and we are within profit and sustainability criteria.
Yes,
the money is there. The money is there.
Yes, it is still, because we haven't even took the 50 mil that was left in the bank.
Why are you arguing with me on this?
Right?
Why are you arguing with me on this?
What I'm saying is, I don't know how much. Look, I go through the financial reports. I've got every financial report.
But you said 120 million is all we've got.
Well, that is just an estimate from me. So I'm saying like,
oh right, okay, you're guessing.
Mil. I don't know what that other 50 mil was earmarked for. Whether it's the hotel at the back of the South Stand, whether it's the other hotels are going to be built, whether it's for the Women's Super League, whether it's for Cruise Hill Golf Course. I don't know what it's for. I don't, and the club are not going to turn around and tell us, because they're not going to let people who we might be interested in one of their players, and it's right as well that it should do that. They're not going to turn and say like, oh yeah, well we've got 200 million to spend.
We spent 200 million. We spent 200 million this year.
Right.
We spent 200 million this year.
If you said, well, I mean, I don't know still. I don't know.
We did. Brennan Johnson, 50 million. Van der Ven, 45 million. Madison, 40 million. Dragusin, 30 million.
We haven't spent that amount of money still. This is the myth with transfers, right?
No. Hold on. No.
Let's get this right. When we sell Kane to Bayern Munich, right, for 85 million, whatever it is, it might be 70. Yeah. I don't give a shit, right? So we sell it to that. Bayern Munich don't go, here's your 70 mil. It doesn't work like that. The way the transfer system works is that normally during the period of a player's contract, if it's a 3 to 5 year contract, that transfer fee will be paid over, say, 3 years if it's short, or 5 without any add-ons.
So you're saying, to cut it short, you're saying we pay in installments, right? We pay in installments.
Right.
So basically, here's the thing.
What I'm saying, if we've got 100 mil,
I'm crushing it now. Adrian,
if we've got 100 mil, we can go out and buy. If we have got 100 mil, we can go out and buy 5 players.
Adrian,
because what will happen is
this is a nonsense. This is the nonsense.
No, it is. No, it's not.
No, it is. Because it is.
Carry on, mate.
It is.
Carry on, mate.
Just because I agree to pay for Harry Kane 30 million over 3 years, so it's 30 million this year, 30 million. I've still got all the other transfers I owe. So the money is being spent. Right.
True.
So the money is there. It is there.
The reason I'm saying it is there. It is there to buy players, because if you've got
so why are you arguing with me on it?
No. Yes, because if it's there, right, what you're doing, like with Dragusin or whoever it is we've brought in, right? If it's there, I mean, some in January window, clubs might really dig their heels in and say, no, we want all the money up front and all that shit, right? And if you're desperate for a player, you blackmailed, you've got no choice but to pay it. But in the summer transfer window, it's a lot different. If you've got 100 mil, you can go and bring in 5 players, 6 players, because you can say to those clubs, okay, 6 players, we'll give you a £15 million down payment on these players. The rest will be paid over the time of their contracts and all that, and they will bite your hands off. They will bite your hands off for that money.
No, this is nonsense. Again, listen, people in the comments saying Adrian's right. He's not, and I'll tell you why. Because when you make a signing, you have to have something called a covenant. A covenant is you have got to prove you've got the money in the future to pay for it. So that money has to be put to one side. That's why Spurs have got 200 odd, 300 odd millions. No, hear me out. I know this shit. We've got about 250
Your
million
bank will
pounds.
guarantee you.
Adrian, Adrian, listen to me. Spurs have got, this is part of profit sustainability and FFP. Spurs have got 250 million pounds in the bank. They can't touch it. Do you know why they can't touch it? Because should the club get into financial difficulty, that money is locked in to pay for the transfers we owe. It's part of the covenant in the contract. The money is spent. It's sitting there. So what happens is, where Spurs say, right, Harry Kane, let's say we buy Harry Kane for 100 million. Buying there's 30 million. That other 60, we've got to show it's in the club's fund. So whether we haven't actually spent it, it's got to sit in the books. So the money has to be there. Otherwise the covenant is broken.
No.
Yes.
I disagree.
Yes.
I disagree. Right?
That's
No,
exactly.
that's fine. We can disagree and debate it.
No, it's not for disagreements. These are legal facts. Go look at the accounts.
Right?
Adrian, I looked at the accounts, right? In the accounts.
You're a going concern as a business, right?
No, I'm talking facts. If you look at the accounts of Tottenham Hotspur, it says cash. No, it says cash reserves. And then when you look to the notes to the accounts, which is like the hidden bits, in the notes to the accounts, it says cash reserves are part of the covenant for the money we owe on transfers.
Fine.
It's there.
Fine. It might be.
So we are spending the money.
But as
Adrian, we are spending the money.
you, as a going, this is a good conversation, right? As a going concern, right? You're a company, and you go to your bank and you say you want to borrow money, and they say, well, what collateral you got? And you say, we've got all the books for this, that, and the other, and the bank will say, yeah, we'll lend you the money, right? Now Spurs, who turned over 549 million last year. Right, that was their total turnover. It's not profit, right? They can go to their bank and say, like, if it comes down to transfers, if apart from the profit they've made after wages, which they know they can spend, and say, like, well, like, we need extra money, and naturally, your bank's going to go, well, like, how do we know you're never going to default on this? Well, because like we're generating this revenue, we're going to generate.
Not how it works with with contract, with transfer. There are rules in place with. Adrian,
we probably owe money 100 million on players.
No, we owe 250 million.
Probably,
we owe 250 on wages, right? When you buy a house, the bank lends you money for a mortgage, but the bank owns your house. They own your asset. Because if you default, I'm taking that and I'm selling it. With players, you can't do that, right? You can't say you owe me money for Kane, but I still own Kane. Don't work like that.
But you have secured
so there's covenants.
And unsecured
so the security is cash reserves on your company accounts.
Hold on. What you're talking about, when they own your property, that's an unsecured loan, right?
No, it's secured. It's secured.
No,
they own your property.
Secured loan.
No, if they own the property, if I'm the bank and I own your property and lend you money, that is called security. It's a secured loan. Unsecured is when I don't have access to any assets to take off you when I lend you money.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. Yeah, hate to admit it, but you're right.
That's all right.
I don't mind a bit. I don't mind admitting it. No, but
Spurs. No. It's good for people watching this to know, because like Phil brings up a really good question, right? And I want to bring this up. So he said, "Look, question: how did Chelsea sign players?" I tell you what Chelsea did.
They were bent. They used offshore companies to buy Willian and someone else, and they're going to get fucking hammered for it.
No, they weren't. They weren't bent. I'll tell you what they did. The installment is over the length of the contract. So if you put a player on an 8-year contract, you can pay over 8 years. So instead of paying, let's say, 30 million each year, they pay 10 million. But then you still got to have the money in the bank, right, to prove that you can pay them. Well, guess what they did? They used what's called a factoring company, where that company, they paid for the deal, and that company, Chelsea pays that company, not the club directly. So Chelsea have been smart by it. But where Chelsea are going to come unstuck is the factoring company. They need some kind of guarantee. If Chelsea don't get into Europe, or if Chelsea get into financial, they don't quite earn the same revenues, they can't guarantee paying that company. And do you know what happens then? Then they're going to get crucified. Then they're going to be in deep shit. And this is what...
Yeah,
but and you know what? And that is a breach of FFP and profit sustainability, which is why if they don't have their accounts in check come by the end of June, Chelsea are in major trouble.
They're in trouble anyway. They're in trouble anyway.
Well, they've got till the end of June.
Under
You've got to
FSP, profit sustainability rules and financial fair play rules, right? You can still sign contracts with players for 8 years, right, and get them in.
They've changed it. They've counted.
No, hold on. Listen, let me hear you out because you'll agree with this once I tell you. But the difference is you have to pay that money up over 5 years because it's the 5-year rule. You can still sign a player for 8 years. You can still do that. But if you're paying for him, it's got to be paid over within a minute, like a 5-year period maximum. You could pay it over 3, right? It wouldn't matter. But I mean, like, you can still sign them for 8 years.
See, I think
Chelsea have really shot themselves in the foot, especially with a few of their players who I think are crap, right? But we'll see how it turns out.
The other thing people don't realize as well is that when you sign an English player, you have to pay, I think it's 70, it might be 75, 70% of the full fee up front. And that is an English rule within the English game to protect clubs in England. So that's why Arsenal, instead of signing Wilfried Zaha for 70 million, they bought Pepe because they could pay for Pepe over 5 years. Whereas if they signed Wilfried Zaha, because he was at an English club, the 70 million, they would have had to put 40-50 million pound down up front.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
These are rules in the game to protect clubs. Della Spurs, thank you for the super chat. He says, would you pay 1 billion to get into a cup final like Chelsea? If no, why are players' trophies not worth it? And why does the club make so much money? Della Spurs, can I say this to you, right? It's a great question. Chelsea is the worst example for anyone to use to compare against anyone, because what they've done is so unique, so unprecedented, and so bloody stupid. They tried to be smart asses, but the problem with what Chelsea did is there was one thing that had to happen for them to pull it off. They had to get Champions League football doing it. And because they're not going to do it, it's going to backfire. They took a massive risk. If they got Champions League football, they would have pulled off an absolute masterclass. But because they haven't, mate, people are going to see how much trouble Chelsea are in this summer. They're in they're going to have to sell half of these players. And here's the funny thing:
you get these.
Who's going to buy Mudryk for 90 million?
Stelios, you're actually right, because I'm reading an article right now that even if Chelsea win the Carabao Cup, it don't look good.
No, still, I've been saying this for a while now. Like, people don't understand that still is spot on what you said about Chelsea. They were banking on thinking that if they did this and they reached top 4 because they're getting all these players, then they won't have to worry about the FFP. But because of that now, it is completely screwed them up. That's why in the summer they have to make £100 million. They won't be able to spend money. They have to sell players.
They're going to have to. But Danny, the thing is, the problem is,
how does a club like Man City turn over 800 million when their fans
because they win trophies? Adrian,
when their fans don't even turn up, winning trophies has got nothing to do with the money.
No, it does, because last season Man City were given £300 million prize money.
Yeah.
Man City won £300 million in prize money last season for the treble. So they make money by being listen, Man City, they're going to get their comeuppance as well, but they have a more sustainable model than Chelsea. You see where Chelsea is going to get absolutely torn apart is this. You've got a factoring company that's paid for your players on your behalf. So I owe the factoring company money, not the club that I bought the players from, the factoring company. I'm now going to be forced to sell players, right? I signed Mudryk, whatever his name is, for 90 million. Who's going to pay me 90 million for Mudryk next season? If I've got to sell him in the summer, no one's paying that. Nobody. Because clubs know, one, he's not worth it.
Solomon kept him out of the Shakhtar Donetsk side.
Adrian, hear this out. Number one, clubs know he's not worth 90 million. And number two, if I know you're on your knees, I'm going to bleed you dry. I'll give you what I think you'll accept. I'll give you 40 million. If no one else is making you an offer, you're taking the 40. So you take the 40, I give the 40 to the factoring company, but guess what? I still owe them 50 million. I'm fucked. I'm fucked because I've spent 90 million on him, 100 million on him, 80 million on him, 60 million on them, but I owe all this money. And if I can't sell those players for the price I bought them, I'm in trouble. And that factoring company could shut down Chelsea. Will they go that far? I doubt it. They'll come to an arrangement. But this breaks FFP rules. It breaks the profit and sustainability rules. And this is why Chelsea are in trouble. They know if they have to sell players, they can't sell the players for the price they bought them. They're screwed, I'm telling you. Unless somehow they've got loads of brilliant academy players that they can flog and then they can recoup the money.
The thing is, on balance sheets is we can turn and say, like, Man City have got a squad, it's worth $1 billion, right? But that is all bollocks, right? It doesn't mean a thing because when you buy a player, whether you buy them for 100 million or not, and you buy 10 players, say it's $1 billion or whatever it is, right? Right? Your squad isn't worth $1 billion because those players are only tangible assets on a balance sheet. The only time those players have a value is when you actually sell them again, when you sell them on. They are worth nothing on your balance sheet. Nothing at all, right? So, and like, no, I agree with what you're saying about, I don't know so much about the factoring companies, but, you know, I mean, like, I do know that
only Chelsea's done that, Adrian, by the way. This factoring company, only Chelsea did that. But that's the only way they were going to raise the money.
I do know that
to spend $1 billion. It's the only way they could do it.
UEFA tried to go at Man City, they were going at their sponsorship out of all these companies, these other Arab companies that were funding them or loaning them money for all this. And Man City got away with one on that. And I think UEFA are quietly hoping that our Premier League show some balls and do something over this. Because if ever we needed a football regulator, it's fucking now in this country. And I don't want the Premier League to regulate itself. I want to see a government regulator.
I'm bored of this. I'm bored of this. I'm sorry. I'm bored of this. Well, yeah, but Adrian, I'm bored of it because the thing is, I'm not getting any younger. And I've just got to a point where I'm just sitting there thinking, well, I'm hearing all this stuff. Well, yeah, but Adrian, if I want to be political, I'll go to the chamber. I'll go to the political chamber, bruv. You know what I mean? I came into football because I wanted to watch football, not to be political guy because I want to talk about finance. Yeah, I leave that to Sean to waffle on about that. I'm a football guy. Yeah, I'm a football guy that wants to see Tottenham Hotspur be good. Yeah, and stop hearing excuses. I'm fed up with it, Adrian. I'm sorry. The thing is, though, the thing that's fascinating about Mr. Box Office at the moment, I'm actually fine. I'm accepting what I'm seeing at the moment. I actually am happy. I'm fine because I know where my team's at. I know we're bang average. Yeah, it's the fans. It's the fans that get Mr. Box Office unleashing every single time on Mr. Box Office TV every single time. You know what I mean? It's our fan base that makes Mr. Box Office rise up and see the fire and start shouting that to the rooftops and saying, what are you saying? If you don't know, get to know. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm fed up with this. We need to start looking at ourselves and saying to ourselves in this, stop worrying about Chelsea. Stop worrying about Arsenal. Stop worrying about all the wider universe and start thinking about ourselves and saying to ourselves, do we want to be a team that want to achieve? Yeah. And stop having teams like Leicester City more decorated than us when they're down in the Championship. Yeah. I'm fed up with it. Yeah.
Well, you're going to see
that little guy, that young guy, that Alex, yeah, that defended this team when he's a young boy is gone. Yeah, and I blame Daniel Levy for it. Yeah, and it's not because of Pochettino. It's because he got seen for Jose Mourinho, and they've not redeemed themselves anytime soon. And that's it. And I'm told I need to believe in the team. Why did they believe in themselves and stop giving them trophies with finances and start winning real trophies like the FA Cup, for instance, that they've ignored for how many years? I'm bored of it.
Big changes in
if we get Champions League this season, I'm not going to celebrate. I'll say, well done, cool. But I'm saying this, right? You need to start making yourself known now. Yeah, you've got an opportunity now to make some history next season. Yeah, I don't want to hear the excuses. Yeah, I don't want to hear the excuses now. Yeah, I want to see this team rise up and make themselves known. Yeah, because there's too much of these fans celebrating players than trophies. And you know the top teams don't do that. Man United don't do that. Man City don't do that. Arsenal don't do that. Chelsea don't do that. I'm sorry, I'm done with it. Yeah, and that's what I want to see next season, and the next season after that as well. And that's it. That's the standard for a top club, and that's it. And if you don't believe me, ask Harry Kane, ask Walker, yeah, ask all these players that have left our club that we are pining over because they've gone and won stuff, and that's it. I'm done. Back to you, Stelios. I'm done. If you don't know, get to know.
Big changes are looming, aren't there? We know that if there's any form of justice in the league, that Man City, Chelsea, perhaps Everton and Forest will get done for, for profit sustainable rules or FFP, whichever way you want to call it. They'll be done. So there'll probably be points deductions, possibly relegations might happen and things like that. So Spurs are in a very good position, right? We've got to take advantage of the fact that we can spend money, right, in summer, kick on while these things are dealt with. I mean, like, they're going to be dealt with next year. Any other cases are supposed to be dealt with after the season actually happening, which is the right way to do things, whether it's going to be point deductions, fines, etc., or whatever. This stuff's got to happen, right? Spurs have been squeaky clean. We're in a good position, right? When the crap hits the fan, we'll be fine. I have some. I mean, like, look, Klopp will go and all that. Look, I hope Klopp's not leaving because he's got some sort of hidden illness or nothing like that, and it's got to him and all that shit, or whether he really is just stressed out and wants a break, or decides to retire. Why not? He's got millions. Why shouldn't he? You know what I mean? Sit back and relax, go fishing or whatever. You know. But like, I'm looking at. I think Spurs are going to be in a stronger position when I pop my clogs, right? I think we're going to go on for strength to strength with our new stadium and our team. I think we will. I think we'll gradually amortize our debt, and we will consistently be a strong force. I want it now. I want to see trophies now. Obviously, I would love new owners to come in and take over this club, right, and clear the debt. Rich, say like a Google or owned by Alphabet or worth $1 trillion or something like that, or Elon Musk, SpaceX, call it a SpaceX stadium. It looks like a spaceship. I'd love all that, right? But you have to consider those that want part of the protest movement and all that, which I'm not against Brian Daigle or all those that are anti-Levy. I take a more realistic approach to all this, right? And my approach was simply that, like, if you want to buy a football club, why are you buying it? What do you want it for? Right? Tell me what you want this club for. Because if you're going to come to Tottenham, whether you think that stadium's worth $2 billion, $3 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion, or whatever, because it's situated in London, a shining jewel, why are you buying this club? Right? I'll tell you what you're not buying it for, right? You're not buying it to make money like the Glazers have took out of Man United because we've got $1 billion in debt, right? So you're not buying it for that. So why do you want the club? Well, if you are a Google, an Alphabet or whatever, or say like Bill Gates of Microsoft or whatever, and you're buying Tottenham Hotspur, you're buying it to put it part of your portfolio, right? You're buying it because Tottenham Hotspur Stable, it's a shining jewel in London, right? You're buying it because if you buy it and you can like invite your partners, your business partners to come to this stadium, right, and dine and wine them and all that, that they'll bring even more business to your trillion empire, right? You're not buying it to make a profit, because who the hell buys a football club to buy a profit? I mean, it's all right for like with Man United and clubs like that in the past when you could suck money out of them like the Glazers have done, but you're not going to do that with Tottenham. So you want it to showcase all your companies. And then what happens? It's like what I've said, why the stadium has never been monetized fully. People say, oh, they've made enough money, they go-kart and this and the other. I said, you're dreaming. You're dreaming if you think we haven't fully monetized the stadium, because you've got the Sky Bridge, right? Now, I believe, it's just my guess, that the Sky Bridge will be part of whoever gets the naming rights. Now, Spurs haven't let out the naming rights, partly because the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium name through NFL is generating enough income by people known in America who Tottenham Hotspur are and where Tottenham Hotspur are situated in London, right? So that hasn't happened. So there hasn't been no rush by Levy now to push on. Todd Klein did a lot of good work bringing loads of business in through Cinch, Get Here, and all this. Did all this commercial stuff. All the money coming at the stadium, welcome to me if it increases our revenue streams and improves the squad, right? This is what you want, right? So, like, you're not going to get, right, we will eventually get a deal, but part of that, I think, was why we've been included by UEFA or FIFA for future competitions is because we've not got a named sponsor for our stadium, which clashes with them, right? So, like, that's that. But looking at just say the naming rights deal, right? You get Google right? Now, hang on, right? Owned by Alphabet, are worth $1 trillion, and they come in and they take over the stadium, right? Now, when they take over the stadium, Google and Alphabet, how many business partners they've got? Hundreds. So once Google come into the stadium on the naming's rights, a fair proportion of their partners will want to come in and be part of the game, right? And you haven't even sold the stadium.
Yeah, but Adrian, no one gives a shit when the football team wins nothing.
True, still, but I'm just saying, adding a bit of reality. I'm trying to add a bit of reality, financial reality to the situation.
Yeah, but we know the finances are good. We know the finances will go up. We know the profits will go up. The cash flow will get better. The asset portfolio will get stronger. We know this. What we want to see is a winning football team. Dietrich, you wanted to speak?
I do as well.
Just want to speak. Honestly, I don't understand why we're the only club that talks about finances and not trophies. Every single fucking.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, listen. Go listen to some of the Arsenal and Man United lot talk. This is. Do you know what? Alex made a good point earlier. He said, "I don't care. I'm bored. This is the direction this is all going in. You're going to have more and more shows where we're talking about finance, more and more shows where we're talking about statistics. This is the direction it's all going. This is what the owners of companies want. They want to distract you from the football and make you, like, in some ways, I'm a sucker because I'm giving them what they want. Let's talk about money.
Can I add something to this as well? And this is nothing personal against anybody.
Say what you want, Alex.
Whatever job you're doing, yeah. I'm hearing about, oh, I do this job now. This is why I talk about this, about Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, I'm a finance guy, so this is why I want to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, I'm a solicitor, so I want to talk about Tottenham Hotspur. I'm like, if you're a fan of Tottenham Hotspur, it doesn't matter where you come from, whatever you do. It doesn't matter. It's just that you support Tottenham Hotspur. There's no one that's on a level because they've got this certain job or they've got this qualification. Oh, they talk well. I'm getting fed up of Tottenham fans saying to me, I'm not speaking coherently. What does that look like when you're talking like that, bro? You get what I'm saying? It gets to a point where the game and the fans are getting too up themselves now because I think they're better than each other. And I'm blaming YouTube for that now because I don't like that. Football is for YouTube. Everyone. But football is for everyone, right? And the fact is, I came into football because my dad supported Tottenham Hotspur, right? Okay, and yeah, I'm breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, I'm talking for Alex now, right? The point I'm making is that it's not about that. It's about winning the team, yeah. And I'm getting tired of hearing people telling me that I need to be accepting because it's a finance thing, yeah. Why is it now? Stelios is hearing kids talking in his football club that he runs about, we've got the bigger finances rather than players. There's something wrong there, isn't it? There is something wrong there, isn't it? When we should be talking about this player's so good. Did you see that player do this today? Well, we had Subuta cards. You know, when those Subuta cards when we were younger, who's the best player? You don't have that anymore.
Top.
Yeah, but Alex, what you'll have with most fan bases for any football club they support is like, as soon as a mention of like an Arab takeover or something comes on, they go, let's take it. you know,
Yeah, you're
without
right there, to be
consequences. They do that, right? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I would love new owners of our club that could clear the debt, so as we can really compete on the on a level playing field. I would love that. Do I see it happening? Yes. Do I see it happening in the next 2 or 3 years? No. But if I'm still alive, then I see it happening, because Spurs are a shining jewel for one of these companies, that trillion companies that have got more money to spend than they know what to do with to take over and to use to promote them and their other companies. Because you're not, look, if you spend 3, 4, 5, if you're a young man or still a young man, and like you were worth 5 billion and you spent 3 billion on Tottenham, right? Are you going to get your money back in your lifetime? Not in a million years. Not in a million years. So
Can I say something quick?
Sorry? Yeah, listen, guys, I need to wrap it up because I've got work tomorrow. So go on, Dietrich, say your thing then.
Been very good, guys. Good chat. Great show.
3.5 hours.
Maybe now.
One last thing. Danny's the biggest.
No, I think I do. Listen. I think he makes a good point. I think Stanley, Dietrich, you say something. You go.
No, I just want to say Danny's the biggest bitch on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Just so to say, it's good to see. It's good to have Danny the bun on the stream. By the way,
yeah,
Adrian. By the way, yeah, right. I hear what you're saying, right? But you're doing what I was doing when I started YouTube, trying to look at the brighter side of things, yeah. And but the thing is, the only question I want to ask you is, right? You're living through the era where we were really good, where we're winning big trophies, yeah. If looking back at that and all the things that we've gone through right now, think about it. If you were back then, would you be accepting, because you've seen what you've seen there, good football and seeing the achievements and good players achieving what they achieve, would you accept what you see now, even though you've seen what you've just seen there? No,
I wouldn't. I've always been an exasperated Spurs fan. I mean, as a fan watching, right? When we won the double in the 60s and all that, like, I was on parents' shoulders. I didn't really know what was going on. It was all this excitement around me. Spurs were doing well. I was a 5-year-old kid. I mean, what do I know, right? Went through the period of the 70s with Chivers and all that, winning trophies. Then you think, this is never going to end, right? We're always going to be successful, but it didn't. And then you ask yourself, well, why? Why has this suddenly stopped? Why have we continued? We won a couple of League Cups and the UEFA Cup. Why haven't we continued this? And then you support as a fan because you love your club. You go through the 80s, same thing. Why again? Why? Because football back in the day wasn't the big businesses now, and back then it wasn't run as professional. The scouting units and all this, they weren't as far-reaching as they are now. Blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And you never maintained it. And then so it seemed to be the perspective was at that time if you won a few trophies, it wouldn't matter if you went a decade without winning another few trophies, which always stuck in my craw. I think, why aren't we up there challenging all the time? Guys, I've got to
wrap it up. Adrian, I've got to wrap it up.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough still.
In short, Alex, the game's changed.
Yeah.
The sport's changed.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's a business now. It's a sport and a business, not just a local club that you support.
Thanks for the invite, Phil.
Listen, you're welcome every time we got match day. I want to say big up to Adrian, Mr. Box Office TV. If you don't know, get to know, go over to Alex's channel, subscribe, follow him. Puts out content all the time. Danny on Tottenham on Tour, go follow them. Although Danny's never on there, but go follow Tottenham on Tour.
Yeah, follow the
I was going to say that actually. You know what? We don't need Danny anyway.
Yeah, mate. Come on, mate.
And if you want to find Dietrich, go watch Bayern Munich.
Dietrich as well, mate.
If you want to find Dietrich, just go to a hashish shop.
Daddy, be careful. Be careful.
If you want to,
I just want to say thank you to Robert.
No. Boy, I got it.
Elias, member for 11 months. Tim Man for the super chat. Bring It Big Boy, who's a member for 8 months. Terrence for the super chat. CMO, which is Connor's channel, CMO Sports, big up to you. Wayne Holland, big up to you as well. And to Della Spurs. And if that fraud from America who pretends he's British, Dan is watching. William says, Dan THFC compared Richarlison to R9. Where is that guy? You went missing tonight.
What?
Big up to you all in the chat for hanging in with us.
Big up, Dan.
Everyone,
Big up, Dan.
Everyone in the chat, big up to every single one of you.
Well,
Honestly,
by the way, if you want to find,
we'll be back on Monday night.
Can I say one thing? If you want to find
You're
Danny,
just going to cuss Danny, then he's going to cuss you. You're going to be here all night.
No, last thing. You're going to find him in the brothel working. Have a nice day. He works in a brothel every night.
Have a nice day.
Check us out on Monday. We've got the podcast show. Otherwise, listen, thank you. God bless. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.